Hey, welcome back to Premier League, Dad. My name is Key. We are live for Celtic against Stuttgart. Huge game, this one in the Europa League. I thought this would be the most fascinating one to watch, I guess. Looking at the fixtures tonight, to be honest, I've been watching Fenerbahce against Nottingham Forest. Absolutely fantastic performance from Forest away in Turkey. Great performance. Really looking nervy now against Liverpool on Sunday. I feel like this new manager bounce might hit Forest well. But tonight we're going to be focusing on Celtic and Stuttgart. Martin O'Neill's Celtic. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back in the side, scoring late winners. You love to see it if you're a former Liverpool player, of course. Love to see it if you're a Liverpool fan like me. But yeah, Celtic, Stuttgart. Stuttgart I'm really intrigued to see for a multitude of reasons. First off, the manager, Sebastian Hoeneß, has been doing really, really well for them. Fourth in the Bundesliga. Obviously, Angelo's still a player that we've watched a number of times on this channel. Very, very talented midfielder. Someone that has been linked with big moves to the Premier League over the coming summer. You know, does he leave? I think Bayern are quite heavily linked to him as well. So yeah, listen, we're going to be watching Celtic Stuttgart tonight. In the other games that have happened in the Europa League tonight, Bologna have won in Bran. Genk have won in Zagreb. That one looks like it's wrapped up. Obviously, Forest winning here 3-0 against Fenerbahce. And Celta Vigo winning against PAOK Salonika as well. That's a good win for Vigo. And now we go on to tonight's Europa games, which are Celtic Stuttgart, Lille, Red Star Belgrade, Ludogorets, Ferencvaros, and Panathinaikos Victoria Plitzen. The lineups, you can see the lineups on the right-hand side here if you're watching with me on Twitch or on YouTube, wherever you are. You can see the lineups. We'll go through them now. It's Schmeichel in goal. It's Araujo, Trusty, Scales, and Tierney at the back for Celtic. Midfield of Bernardo, McGregor, and Nygren. And then it's Maeda, Tunekti, and Thomas Vankara, the Czech centre-forward, starting up front for Celtic. For Stuttgart, it's Nubel in goal, Hendricks, Szabo, Jelch, and Wagnerman. Finn Jelch, fantastic young centre-back. He's one to keep an eye on tonight. He'll be one that I think will be moving on very, very soon from Stuttgart as well. In midfield, it's Karazor and, of course, Angelo Stiller. Then it's Josh Llewellyn off the left. Undav, who you might remember from Brighton. Bilal El Kanous, who you might remember from Leicester, off the right-hand side. And then Ermedin Demirovic, who is, again, on fire this season, Demirovic. 1-2 at least in the Bundesliga, so he's flying. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's games. Get your prediction in. Obviously, Palace as well. We've not spoke about Palace. Can't believe we've not spoke about Palace either. Palace are... Oh, it's 1-1. How have I missed that? Palace 1-1. I would never have got that. Alkmaar getting beat against Noah as well, but that one probably means we have to be watching that next week. Surely it's a 1-1 for Palace. That's the tie we're watching next week. There's still Jagiellonia against Fiorentina to play tonight, as well as Omonia, Rijeka, and Skendia Samsunspor in the Conference League. Sorry. But yes, sorry I'm not ignoring you on TikTok, YouTube. Let's come to the comments. How are we all doing, everyone? Joe, good to see you. Oxford fan, Jake. Ibra, Sura, good to see you as well. Ryan, good evening, everyone. How you doing, Ryan? Shell, lovely to see you, Shell, as always. Hope you're doing good. Sir, I was in Manchester today. Cops walking around with guns. Jesus. Sweet Lord. Joe says all that Voltemada stuff on from Build and TalkSport is all shite, seen from reputable sources in Germany and Newcastle today. It's probably a realistic assumption to make, though, I think, that Voltemada's not going to be happy with his time at centre forward for Newcastle and the limited chances that he's getting. Ryan, hi key mate, how are you doing? I've got a story to tell you today. It's not football related, but good grief, it's been a bit of a mad day for me. Adam, what are we watching? I heard VFB. You did, yep. Stuttgart Celtic tonight. Dylan, our Ireland going to the World Cup? Not for me, Dylan. No, I don't think so. I can't see it anyway. I don't think so. Shell, I missed the Wolves' second goal last night. Did all the Reggies arrive? No, not really. No, if anything, it was quite quiet. It's quite quiet. Sarah says, did you hear that Arsenal fans say the wind was blowing too strong? Yeah. Well, there have been gusts. There have been gusts. Joe, he's got 11 goals and 4 assists, mate. Would have never seen that coming. No, but he's been on like a 12-game scoreless run. Like, come on. Forget that bit of it. 12 games without a goal, and he's basically playing centre mid. Like, he's dropping very, very deep. It's not the position that he was signed for. I can understand he'd be frustrated. Jake, hello, Shell. How's your day been? Dylan, no, that's not what I want to hear, mate. Listen, I don't like it. I'd like it if they did. I would like it if they did. But if they don't, then they don't. We'll be watching them. Adam, you over-celebrated the Wolves equaliser. Nah! What do you mean over-celebrated? You can't over-celebrate that. Come on. That was great for Wolves. And do you know what? That is something. That is something that you want to see as a football fan. I don't care who you supported last night, whether you were a Wolves fan, an Arsenal fan, whoever you supported, right? You enjoyed that Wolves equalised last night. Do you know why? Because it was a victory for football. It was a victory for football. Arsenal were time wasting. They were it was top against bottom. You know, over £1 billion spent against Wolves' side who have been decimated by selling the best players. They look like they're already in the Championship. Like, it was a victory for football. Arsenal time wasting. It was shameless from Arsenal at the end yesterday. Absolutely shameless from them. And they still didn't win. Time wasting, time wasting, time wasting. And they still didn't win. It was brilliant. You were half asleep before that goal. And it was boring. It was boring. But that's standard for Arsenal, isn't it? Ryan says Forest have played well under their new manager, Vitor Pereira. They did very well. Yeah, they did very, very well. Joe, he was great in the 8-10 last night, pulling... I know, but that's not what he's... I don't think he wants to be a number 8 or a number 10. That's not where he's being played for Germany. There's no way you put him in the number 8. You know, Joe Linton, who converted there somewhat happily because he was garbage at centre-forward. But I don't necessarily think that's what Voltemade is going to be keen to do. There's not many centre-forwards that will sign and then, you know, regress into a midfield position. It's unlikely, isn't it? But yeah, right, so it was mad. It was absolutely mad that last night, and I do think it was a victory for football. It was best that Wolves got... Do you know what I'm gutted about, though, tonight? Murillo scoring for Forest, because I'm adamant that this is the player we're signing in the summer. I think Forest are going to let him... Or Forest are probably going to go down, or there's a chance they go down. If they do go down, then I think Murillo's leaving. Right, now then. A Celtic on next? Is it Celtic next up on here on TNT3? No, that's Lille. No, I think it's on TNT Sports 6, isn't it, Celtic? Is it Celtic on, or is it 1? Maybe it's 1. Yeah, there you go, it's 1. TNT Sports 1 for Celtic tonight. Tom up the Wolves, come on me babbies. Jack says, hopefully the Palace get knocked out next week. Why do you want Palace knocked out, Jack? Derek says Forest will not go down. Hey, I don't know, mate, you know. King Arsenal, a fan like you makes us hate Liverpool. What do you mean a fan like me? One that watches loads of football every day. A fan who knows what he's talking about. What do you mean? A fan like me who makes us hate Liverpool? Listen, you got your comeuppance last night. Arsenal deserved that draw last night. You played dreadful and you wasted time against bottom of the league. You deserved it. Sometimes you just have to take your medicine a little bit. Jack says, I hate Crystal Palace as one of my teams I support is Brighton. Oh, okay. Joe says he played there for Stuttgart. It's all media shite trying to ruin our season. Oh, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Don't be talking nonsense. It's all media shite. Get your tinfoil hat on. Liam says, Key, please tell me Arsenal will still win. I can't cope anymore. Well, never seen you watch a Liverpool game. Well, you should tune in a bit more, Max. If you watched us on nights where Liverpool are playing, you'd find I'm watching Liverpool. But yeah, today, honestly, ridiculous. Been in A&E all day. Don't speak early. This is it. Don't speak early. What have Arsenal been doing all season? I feel sick if we bottle it again. I'll give up on football, honestly. Listen, you can't give up on football, but it is funny. It is objectively funny if Arsenal bottle it again, because you've spent like so much money. You've got to close it out this year. Joe, there you go, being. Oh, Joe, come on. You're the one saying that the media are trying to ruin your season. That's arrogance. That is arrogance. Come on. Nobody's trying to ruin Newcastle's season. Voltemada's having a bit of a difficult time, and it's kind of the standard thing that media do with every club. It's not Newcastle's season they're trying to ruin. They're just reporting reports. That's what media do. City breathing down Arsenal's neck. They are indeed. Celtic or Stuttgart. Tonight, I fancy Stuttgart to win. We've got some great quizzes throughout tonight. I've got a couple of good quizzes here. So we'll be doing some quizzes throughout the game. Kevin, would you rather City or Arsenal win? Me personally, I would rather City win. Yeah. City play the better football. Joe, they've done it with Tonali and Isak, pal, and Bruno. Yeah, but hang on a minute. One, Isak, there was actually legs in it. So it's not arrogance and it's not false. Isak, there was legs in it. Tonali, there was legs in it. His agents, let's be clear, there was given the credibility of the reports coming out with Tonali, his agent definitely is manufacturing a move for him. If Tonali is still a Newcastle player next season, we'll all be astonished. Ryan says, come on, the boys. And Empty says, Undav is the answer. Tom, always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Arsenal. This was the last time Celtic and Stuttgart played each other in European competition. I'm thinking there, is it? Yeah? 2003. Pierluigi Collina was referee that night as well. Crazy. And Kevin Kurányi scored. What a player he was, by the way. Do you remember Kevin Kurányi? What a player he was. Lambert scoring for Celtic. Lennon was on the pitch. Martin O'Neill. Maloney. Sean Maloney. Stilian Petrov. Oh, it's great stuff. Fabulous stuff to see. Hello from Ireland. How's it going? Joe, is everything okay, mate? Oh, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Just a ridiculous... Oh, it's a long story. I'll go into it later on if the game's a bit flat. It's funny, actually. Great point yesterday for Reece. Yeah, Arsenal made up with that point now. It's a great point now on reflection. Finn, yeah, this is basically a scouting mission as far as I'm concerned. Finn Yelch and Angelo Stiller. Jamie Llewellyn as well, not Josh Llewellyn. Jamie Llewellyn's quite good as well. Should we do one of our quizzes? Should we do a little quiz to get us started early? Because we've got 10 minutes to kick off. Should we do a little early pre-game quiz? 10 minutes. Get us warmed up. Trying to think of some quizzes we could do. I've got my little quiz book here. Okay, go on. Tell you what, here we go. What about this, right? Give me, if you can, the top 20 German Champions League goal scorers. In Champions League history, the top 20 German goal scorers. Get your answers in the chat. Jake says, if Arsenal don't win this league, they'll never win it. And 3-star says, some Turks are on the pitch. They think it's all over. What a result that was, 3-star. What a performance. Really, really good performance. Fenerbahce were dreadful, but you definitely deserve the win. Adam says Rudiger. Yes, Rudiger's not there. Rudiger is not there. Robert, have you heard people are saying Prestiani's career is over? Thoughts? No, his career is definitely not over. He's only 20 years old. He's not been found guilty of anything. I don't think he will be found guilty of anything, to be honest. There's not evidence to suggest that he did it, or certainly not sufficient evidence to suggest that he did it, that will cause him to get the ban that, he should get. If he does, if he was found guilty, then he would get a 10, 20, 30 game ban or whatever. But there's no evidence, so he's not going to get found guilty. Cecil, enjoy yourself yesterday, Keith. Loved it, Cecil. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? It was great. I noticed you scuttled off quite quickly. Thomas Muller is first. Yes, Thomas Muller is right. Ballack, Tony Kroos. Ballack is 7th. Tony Kroos is 18th. Havertz is 17th. Ozil is 19th. Good answers, Ryan. Sebastian Schweinsteiger is 14th. We're doing the top 20 German Champions League goal scorers. Havertz, we've got. You've got Muller, Ballack, Schweinsteiger, Havertz, Kroos, and Ozil. Cecil says Mason Greenwood is still playing. No way his career is over. Well, exactly. Yeah, it's unfortunately the way of the world that maybe it's not unfortunate. There has to be a threshold to find people guilty, and it doesn't pass that threshold. Nigel, evening key, loving that Wolves equaliser last night. It was great, wasn't it, Nigel? Ibra, not Gerd Muller. No, Gerd Muller wasn't Champions League. He was European Cup. So it is only that from the crossover into the Champions League when the format changed and it was rebranded to the Champions League. So 92, 93. That is when we're talking from. Mario Gomez is second. Good answer, Robert. Khedira, no, not Sami Khedira. Not a bad shout, though. Didier Mann, no, not Didier Mann. Celtic are going to win this one 2-1, says Judith. Let's hope so. Royce, Marco Royce is third. Good shout, Adam. Shell, I watched the game 3-star. You played very well, made up for you. They were brilliant. They were absolutely fantastic. We're doing, if you've just joined, the top 20 German goal scorers in Champions League history. So far, people have guessed Mesut Ozil, which is right, he's 19th. Tony Kroos is 18th. Kai Havertz is 17th. Bastian Schweinsteiger is 14th. Michael Ballack is 7th. Marco Reus 3rd. Mario Gomez 2nd. And Thomas Muller 1st. Keep your answers coming in. Not Klinsmann, no. Gundogan is correct. Correct. Vincent, yeah. Gundogan is right. He is 10th. Not Nagelsmann, no. Closer, yes. Miroslav Klose is 9th. Pup says, evening all, hoping for a Celtic win, keep them distracted from the league. And LJ says, I'm so very proud to be here. In the words of Brendan Rodgers, and also in his words, you are all beautiful human beings. Yes, love that, LJ. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Podolski, yes. Podolski is 11th. Good answer. Very good, Elson. Elson, answer. Gundogan we've got. Klose we've got. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 left to get. You've kind of got half marks. Thomas Muller is first. We've already got that one. So you've got Thomas Muller, you've got Gomez, you've got Royce, you've got Ballack, you've got Klose, Gundogan, Podolski, Schweinsteiger, Havertz, Kroos, and Ozil. They are the only ones that people have guessed so far correctly. Gnabry, yes, Serge Gnabry is 5th. Correct. Well done. Not Lewandowski. He's Polish. Timo Werner. Yeah, Timo Werner, miraculously, is 6th in the all-time list of German top Champions League goal scorers. Timo Werner, 6th. Just a little pre-game German-themed quiz, given we're watching Celtic and Stuttgart. Vincent says, where are all the Gunners now? Bottle FC, it's all gone quiet over there. Closer, we've already got Cecil. Not Lam. No, I would have thought Philip Lam as well, but not Philip Lam. We've got Ballack. Sané is correct. Yeah, Leroy Sané is 4th. Yeah, not Lam. Unlucky, Alfie. I thought that would have been myself, to be honest. But no, not Philip Lam. Not Klinsmann. We've got Ozil. Don't worry, the quad is still on. Oh, I hope you stick around, Cecil, for the end of the season, mate. I was going to say Wirtz, but forgot he only played 2 seasons in it. Yeah, not Jupp Heynckes. Kimmich. Yeah, Joshua Kimmich is 12th. Good answer. Adeyemi, correct. He's 8th. Keep them coming. Mario Gomez we've got. We've got Mario Gomez. So far you've got Ozil, Kroos, Havertz, Schweinsteiger, Kimmich, Podolski, Gundogan, Klose, Adeyemi, Ballack, Werner, Gnabry, Sané, Royce, Mario Gomez, and Muller. We are doing the top 20 Champions League goal scorers, German Champions League goal scorers in Champions League history. So only since 92-93 when the Champions League was created. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left to get. You've only got 4 left to get. You've got 16 out of 20 so far. Carsten Janker is right, Robert. Yeah, Carsten Janker is correct. Not Fulkrug, no. We've got Werner. Not Goretzka. Good answer, but not Goretzka. Three left to get. One of them scored... Oh, did he score, actually? I don't know if he did score in the Champions League final in 99. Goetze. Yes, Goetze is correct. Number 13. You've got number 16 left to get and number 20. Not Manuel Neuer. Not Ozil. Ozil we've already got. Come on, Celtic, says Shell. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you the last 2 because we're close, very, very close to kick-off. So, number 16 was Mehmet Scholl. Mehmet Scholl, you might remember, for Bayern. And number 20, well, number 20 is joint. 20, 21st, they've both got the same number of goals. So one is Julian Brandt, and the other is a Bayer Leverkusen legend. I think he also played for Stuttgart, Ulf Kirsten. Ulf Kirsten, absolutely fantastic player. So there you go, that is one of our... we've got a pre-match quiz, we'll do a half-time quiz. We might do a quiz in the middle of the game as well if it's not going so well. But yeah, Celtic, Stuttgart about to get underway. Lots of quizzes, lots of footy. Let's chat through the game about whatever you want to chat about football-wise. This is going to be a great game, this. I genuinely think Celtic will struggle tonight. I'd like to see him get a result, but I think Stuttgart are just doing too well at the minute. Come on, the boy, says Joe. That Juve shirt is sexy. Orwell says, worst title defenders in the Premier League history. Could be Leicester, maybe Chelsea, I would say. Chelsea would probably be the worst, wouldn't they? I think, technically speaking, in terms of points and everything, I think it'd be Chelsea. But saying that, Arsenal have got less points than Leicester have, haven't they? At this point, when Leicester won it, that's how bad Arsenal have been this season. Everyone's making out like they're this generational team. Vitor Pereira has got Forest cooking. He's done very well. Be ready on Sunday, mate. I'm worried. I'm nervy. As a Liverpool fan, I'm nervy. Robert says, Key, have you seen apparently Newcastle are interested in Liam Delap on loan in the summer? Do you think you'll get him, though? Stuttgart 3-1, says Hepix. Oxford fan says, or non-football wise, no, he knows. Well, I have got a non-football related story for today, because I've spent the day in A&E, believe it or not. I've been in A&E pretty much all day. Be Yourself Dylan says, hi, I went to my dance rehearsal and no one turned up, and they didn't tell me before I left my house. Oh, that's well annoying. Did you have to travel far, Dylan? I mean, that irrespective, I guess, but hopefully it's not too far and it wasn't too much of an inconvenience, but that's a shame. Joe says Celtic 2, Stuttgart 1. It's going to be a good game. I fancy Stuttgart tonight, I've got to say. Vincent says, when is your next EFL League One watch along, mate? Up the posh. Probably during the international break, which is coming up very soon. Jake says, hello on a Permo. How's he going? How are you going on a Permo? Hard game for us tonight. Come on, the Celtic. Oxford fan, Key, hope you're okay. Oh, I'm fine. It wasn't me. It was my wife. It was the better half. We had to go to A&E for her today, but wait till you hear why. Wait till you hear why. Ryan says, do you think Martin O'Neill could get the Celtic job full time, Key? I don't think he wants it, does he? I think if he wanted it, he could have it. Yeah, he seems to have done very well since he's come in. Right, we're off and underway here at Parkhead. Stuttgart, 4th in the Bundesliga. Sebastian Hoeneß, wonderful coach. Very, very well respected across Europe. Very, very talented team. And Stuttgart facing, again, an equally well respected coach in Martin O'Neill and Celtic. Is that Maloney as his backup as well? Is his assistant manager? I didn't know that. Shell, hope she's okay. Oh, she's... Shell. Do you know what? I would never ever... I love her to bits, of course. But, oh my goodness me. This was one of them days where you were just like... wait till you hear. It's so daft. Did you do a football quiz for everyone in A&E? No, it was like, honestly, it was like a departure lounge. It was shocking. The UK Health Service is on its knees. It was absolutely shocking. We were waiting there for hours. And we left before we got seen. Because we realised something. Didn't we? I don't think she is watching. But if she was watching, she would know. Brody, how's it going? Be Yourself done 2 hours bus travel. Oh my God, mate. Shocking. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Well, hey, listen, I won't be working for them again. Andy says, heard you mention Arsenal, watching Arsenal bottle it again. It's just too funny. Chelsea forever, hope the lap will leave, and tossing Gittins, Garnacho, Barry Shield will follow him. Wow, that bad. Seb, is the footy going to be watchable on the live? What do you think, Seb? Be Yourself Dylan, have you seen the boy called Harley? He supports Tottenham, needs to raise 2.5 million for his surgery. I have, yes. Yeah, hope for Harley. Go and check his page out. His mum's doing wonderful work for him. Best of luck for him. Yeah, seems a really... That's just really sad, isn't it? It's really sad. Lovely family. Vincent Jamie Lane says, bit weird how the Arsenal fans are quiet this evening. Biggest bottle job of all time. This is what happens when you give it Billy big balls before you've won anything. They can't even buy the league. And Jake says, come on the blue shite on Monday. I want top 4. Yes! Come on. On a Permo says, Andy Robertson in the crowd. Bleeds green. Oh, do you know what? I would actually quite like to see Andy Robertson at Celtic. I think he'd do well at Celtic, but match interrupted due to crowd disturbances. Crowd disturbances. I was thinking, why have we not actually got any football on 2.5 minutes in? The game's been halted. When needed, unless you're a City fan, can your shit teams laugh? Yeah, absolutely you can. Yeah. You don't get to laugh depending on who you support, mate. You can laugh whoever you support. That's the beauty of football. So yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Be yourself, Dylan. We've done that one. Sorry, Alan Cash. Bro is a dad. I am indeed. Yes. Jimi Hendrix. What game are you watching, pal? We're watching Celtic Stuttgart at Parkhead. The game was stopped for a couple of minutes due to crowd disturbances. It said. Alfie Nightmare. You'll be in A&E if she hears you. Prem. Well, I would. Yeah. Prem A&E list. Wilshire Dyer. Robert says the Argentinian media are saying Prestiani called Vinny hermano, which means brother in Portuguese. In Spanish, yeah. No, he almost certainly did. Well, not almost certainly. He did call him hermano. There's no doubt about that. He absolutely did call him hermano. You don't have to be a professional lip reader to know that he called him hermano. After the incident, a couple of minutes after the incident, he definitely called him hermano because he shouted over at Vinny. He was saying hermano, hermano. I think he was trying to reconcile the situation for whatever happened. But before that, when he pulls his... that's the bit where we don't know what he said. Celtic board are a disgrace, says on a permo. Ben says it's because the Green Brigade Ultras are still banned. When needed, says 400 million Liverpool fans. I don't know if there's that many. I would imagine there's... 400 million? Do you think there's that many Liverpool fans when needed? I'm not sure. Vos Styler, for the love of God, let's leave Arsenal out of here. These past few weeks, the stream has been Arsenal. Mate, I'd love it if we weren't talking about him. Yeah. I'd love it if we weren't. Anna Permo says, Kasper Schmeichel will let us down tonight, if anything. An Oxford fan, when are we going to find out about this story then, Key? We'll see how the game goes. If it's quiet for a bit, I'll tell you. Hannah Pickford, how's it going? Dan, what was the protest for at Celtic Park? I think it was something to do with the board. The Green Brigade Ultras, someone's mentioned on the chat. Stuttgart are in here down the left-hand side. Here's Stiller. Over to the left-hand side. This is better. Celtic intercepted. Araujo, and it's going to be a foul. Stuttgart opportunity to put the ball in. Andy, are we really going there again, Liverpool fans supporting Everton next week? We'll definitely be supporting Everton on Monday night. I'm looking forward to that Monday night football. Robert, did you see Mourinho say Vinny's celebrations were disrespectful? Yeah, I did see that. Whether or not they were disrespectful, I mean, I feel like that's a weird thing to say for Mourinho, because, like, at what point does disrespect prompt racism? Like, how disrespected would you have to feel to be racist to someone? I don't think that justifies it, Jose, for what it's worth, but... Sad. Alfie, Arsenal are like Netflix series, always waiting for the new season. And LJ says, Key, the top 5 in the Premier League will all probably earn Champions League football for next season. I think the current top 5 will stay with the same teams, but Alan Pardew had an opinion on Liverpool, 6th Champions League champions. Eh? Can see a 3-1 win for Celtic here, says Matthew Canning. Good to see you, Matthew. I think Celtic will do well to come out of this one with a draw for the second leg. I think that's got to be the goal tonight, is to just try and keep it competitive for the second leg. Stuttgart are a very, very handy side. Listen, Parkhead's a very difficult place to go on a European night for any side, but I think a win here for Celtic would be unbelievable. A draw would be a very good result, though. If you take it over to Germany with a draw, that's reasonable. That's good. Rasta, remember that the ball is round. A lot of other teams, not just AFC, is going to drop points till the end of the season. Absolutely agree. Abdi Samad, how's it going, mate? Lovely to see you. And Where Fella says, thanks for the stream and your time as always, Key. Thank you for you. Thank you for you coming in and giving us your time. No, I appreciate it. Really do. Jake says, I've been to the Manchester FA Museum today and then I had a cheeky Nando's right after. What's your Nando's order? Get your Nando's order in the chat. Let's judge you based on your Nando's order. Robert says, last on this, Louis Sau has said, I love Benfica, but you have to be worthy to this jersey, and Prestiani was a racist, and I'm ashamed of that. Again, everyone's wading in with their opinions, and I get it. I understand. It's a very hot button issue. Owners run Celtic out of a biscuit tin. So far, I mean, we've not had 8 minutes of football. It's 8 minutes 45, 8 minutes 50 on the clock. But we've not really had that much football because we had 2 minutes or so where the game was stopped due to crowd disturbances. Celtic last year, we could beat Stuttgart. This year, we're third in our own league. Jake, mate, that's none of your business. Sorry, mate, I didn't realise. Bang out of order in me, that. Sorry. Absolutely bang out of order. I love that. That's none of your business what my Nando's order is. Keep your nose out. Just tell us the story now. Oh, do you want me to tell you the A&E story? Okay. Sweet Pete says, have TNT turned the sound down on the Celtic game? It's silent. I can hear Stuttgart only. Possibly. Yeah, maybe they have. I don't know. I've not got the sound on, so I don't know. Nah, I don't know, you know. That might just be the away end. I don't know. Maybe you're right. LJ says, hopefully Toffees can earn European football this season. I'd be hoping for the current top 5 Premier League teams earning a Champions League spot, and Liverpool end up 6th and winning the Champions League, which means Everton Europa League if we end up 8th. I can't see Everton getting 8th, I'll be honest with you, LJ. Matthew says, only optimistic due to Stuttgart losing against St. Pauli away from home. Yeah, listen, I mean, recent form, I think, for both of these teams has been a little bit sketchy. Joe says, Defo orders plain chicken with ketchup. Oh, ketchup at Nando's. Get on your bike. Robert says, Key, do you know what's happening with Philip Coutinho? Yes, he has left Vasco da Gama due to mental health. He's asked for his contract to be cancelled, and it has been mutually terminated. Ibra, don't tell us it's not worth it. Yeah, I was going to say, so what it is, right, so my missus wakes up this morning. Say this morning, when was it? Three days ago, she wakes up and all of the right side of her face, just like here, basically, is like dead, tingly. And she said it felt like burning. And over the next couple of days, culminating in this morning, it just got increasingly worse and basically spread across her whole right side of her face. Now, to look at her face, you wouldn't think there's nothing wrong. Like, it wasn't red, it wasn't inflamed, it wasn't swollen, there wasn't a rash, there was nothing. But she just felt like, it feels like I'm having a stroke. It feels really grim, right? So, we went to, and it was, she said literally, even like putting her makeup on, she couldn't put makeup on because even her makeup brush was painful because she was touching her face lightly with a makeup brush and it was hurting. So I said, right, let's go to A&E because it could be, when we chat GPT'd it said it could be the start of shingles, which is like a stress-related thing that you get if you're feeling run down or whatever. Anyway, goes to A&E, sits in A&E for about 5-6 hours, something like that, and while she's in there, she's Googling all this other stuff. Turns out, she got this cream a few nights ago, which it's like some, I don't know, not to sound sexist, but you know what stuff women put on, and it's like, I don't know, the venom of sea sponges, and you put it on your face and it makes you look 6 months younger. Whatever, right? They put all this mad stuff on it, and she's got this cream, and she's put this cream on, and you're only supposed to put it on like a drop or two, maybe once a week. She's been blathering her whole face in it for like 2-3 times a day. And then I was like, no wonder your face is on fire. What are you doing? Oh, so we literally sat in A&E and she Googles it and she's like, oh. And she put it into ChatGPT, and then she just turned to me, and I'm sat there on my phone just like, been sat here for 6 hours. She turned to me and she said, I think it's my fault. I was like, what do you mean? She said, here. And she just handed me her phone and showed me ChatGPT, and it was like, yeah, this explains a lot. What you've done is you've basically took the top layer of your skin off. The guard, the coating on your skin has been taken off because you've used this, like, pufferfish venom on your face or whatever it is that they've got in it. It's ridiculous, honestly. Just madness. There you go. Women. Shingles is chicken pox in adults. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Oh, El Hoeneß! Oh, what a goal that is! Celtic 0, Stuttgart 1. Bilal El Hoeneß, former Leicester player, again, very, very much in demand this summer. There was rumours that Palace were looking at him. There was rumours Newcastle were looking at him. But Bilal El Hoeneß has just put Stuttgart in front at Parkhead, and there's already recriminations going on with Celtic. There's recriminations in my household after spending 6 hours in A&E. But there's recriminations at the back with Celtic. Kasper Schmeichel, what are you doing? Gives the ball away cheaply. Stuttgart win it back. He's onside. There's no question about that. Cuts inside. Good finish. Oh, do you know what? Again, should Schmeichel be doing better with the shot? I thought he did well to pull that, but I thought it was a... Oh, no, that's horrendous. I thought that was horrendous from Schmeichel. He gives the ball away. And do you know what? I thought it was right in the far corner, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. That's squirmed underneath Kasper Schmeichel. It's dreadful. Too easy, says Honor Permo, and too easy is absolutely right. It's Celtic 0, Stuttgart 1. Rakon Tech says, welcome to hell. 5-2 Galatasaray. Joe, what's your skincare routine, Key? What is your daily skincare routine? Get up, wash my face. And I do actually, to be honest, since I actually put that cream on. The cream that she hurt her face, but I only put it on once. She's just stupid. So stupid. I just had to laugh. All women don't do that. No, I know they don't. I know. That's just her being daft. Did she take an antihistamine, Key? She has, yes. She's took a couple of things to just kind of settle it down. But basically, we was worried about it being shingles, because obviously if you get shingles, your face literally, like, it peels, doesn't it? It's like you get, like, pus-filled blisters and stuff on your face. For like 2 or 3 weeks, so it can be really bad. So she was worried about that. That's why we went to A&E, and we didn't even end up getting seen. Thank God we didn't end up getting seen, actually, because if we had, and we told them about the cream situation, yeah, we'd probably got a telling off for having wasted the time. Matthew says this one's going to be a long night. Absolutely shite from the keeper. Has it affected her skin then? Only insofar as that it's like a little bit tender. Her face is tender. Apparently, from what we've learned subsequently, is if you do this and you put this on your face, it'll last maybe 5 or 6 days and then it'll calm down because your skin will rebuild the barrier, the natural oils and stuff in your skin. Kasper cannot dive to his left since last season. He got injured. Ben said his dad would have got down quicker now. And Oxford fan says, Key, you should do a get ready with me. Get ready with me as we watch Celtic against Stuttgart. Surely if your left shoulder is fucked, then he doesn't start. Why would he still be Celtic's goalkeeper if he can't dive to his left? Dida was like that. Dida's AC Milan's goalkeeper in the Champions League. Apparently, it was noted in the build-up to that Champions League final that he suffers when diving to his right. DJ, you a Celtic fan, bro? I'm not a Celtic fan, mate. No, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I watch football every day on this channel. That's what we do. Celtic chance. Oh, nearly 1-1. Better from Celtic. That was much better. 3-star says, now Sean Dyche on the Nando's menu. That's a different matter. Won't be a good choice though, as you'd end up breaking your teeth chewing through the gravel. Schmeichel needs dropping, says Stephen McAnally. And Graham says, Shell, if they ever get into Europe, you'll have to get a passport. Yeah, she's fine, to be honest. You're petrified of planes, Shell. Do you know what you should do? You should do one of them... EasyJet do them courses, don't they? Them, like, safe flying courses or fear of flying courses, where it's literally, they just take you... There's very few people on the plane, and everyone who's on the plane is scared of flying. But they just take you up, fly you around for like 5 minutes and land back on the airport. It's like super calm. But they do them, I think, pretty much every month, every week. Matthew says, when Casper does that, he must be raging how he doesn't get a sniff at the starting 11. And Malcolm says, Key, do you know Still for Stuttgart? Stiller for Stuttgart is boss. Yeah, Stiller's absolutely fantastic. El Canus is another one to watch. Finn Jelch, the centre-back's another one to watch. NJ, who's been the better team? Better team so far has been Stuttgart. Celtic are now dominating the ball. They're starting to get the foot on the ball a bit more, and it's poor from Araujo, that. That's really poor. Straight through to the keeper. Energy's been sapped a little bit from Celtic. The atmosphere from Celtic is fucking rotten tonight. Yeah, I was going to say, it does feel like just since that goal went in, it's just dropped. It's just dropped a little bit. And then in again, though, must be 1-1. It is 1-1. Oh, it's shocking from Stuttgart. There you go. It's 1-1. Get in. Nygren with the equaliser. Just as we were talking about Stuttgart dominating, Celtic just about getting back into the game. The atmosphere feeling flat. Celtic have equalised. Nygren rounding the keeper. Wonderful finish, that, to be fair. But again, we're talking about errors. Celtic with an error for the Stuttgart goal. And now a huge error at the back between the goalkeeper and the centre-back. Just giving the ball away so cheaply. Oh, it's poor. Really poor, that. Must do better. But a fabulous finish, it's got to be said. Really, really calm and composed. Kingsloth, did you enjoy Arsenal bottling it last night, Key? Loved it, mate. Absolutely wonderful. Anya, hi, Key. How you doing? Is Stiller playing well? We've not seen all that much of Stiller, to be honest. He's not really had much chance to get on the ball. I think, if anything, Celtic are staying very close to him. They've almost man-marked him out the game to this point. If anything, they're letting the extra man in midfield for Stuttgart is it's almost never Stiller. They're almost giving it to Karazor and letting him have it. And Karazor is the one who's just given the ball away for Celtic to equalise. So I think maybe that's Martin O'Neill's tactical setup is, listen, we'll let this guy have the ball. We're fine with this guy having the ball, but not this guy, because Angelo Stiller can hurt us. So we get very close to Angelo Stiller. And you can see, every time Angelo Stiller... Look at that now. Angelo Stiller is... Anytime he's in space, you've got Celtic 2 people very close to him at all times. Whereas as soon as Karazor gets the ball, he's almost got the freedom of Parkhead, because I think they know not really much going on with Karazor. He's already given the ball away. Stephen says, rotten are we? We're not the Huns. Ryan says, I watched the second part of the overlap. Ange Postecoglou said he regrets going to Forest, said it was too soon. Agreed, yeah. Prince Rupert says that was a Stuttgart captain as well with the mistake. Was it? You sure? Oh, sorry, yeah, it was as well, Karazor. I was thinking, I didn't think Karazor was the captain. Yeah, Atakan Karazor. I don't know. I don't know why I always thought it was Shabo. Jeff Shabo. Or Shabot. 3 stars says, I had the same fear the one and only time I watched Forest play in Europe. The last time we played, we qualified. Went all the way to Munich by bus and then to Spain on holiday. Love that. Well, there is a game. The game has sparked into life. The game has sparked into life here. Celtic won, Stuttgart won from two mistakes, if we're being dead honest. Oh, I love that, mate. Cheers for the gifts, King Sloth. Really appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. Dexter says, with Liverpool being the biggest bottlers in Prem history, when do I think they will win one next? I don't know. When do you think they will win one next, Dexter? I'm intrigued. Annie says, what game tomorrow? What game tomorrow? It's Blackburn against Preston, the Lancashire derby. Friday night football. We'll be watching that. Matthew says, Nigren and Trusty card for 1,400. We can only hope. Good lad. Well done. Hey, I'm rooting for you, mate. Take it off him. Prince Rupert says, hey, Shell, just fine. Thanks. Hope you're doing well too. And is the Ox playing? No, Oxlade-Chamberlain is not playing. He's in the stands tonight. NUFC Sam, hello, mate. I'm watching this game and rooting for Stuttgart as it's Nick Voltemada's old team. It is indeed. Do you still think Arsenal to win the league after their slip last night? Yeah. Yeah, I've got less faith in Arsenal, but I still think they'll win the league just by virtue of the fact that I think Manchester City are a bit of a. It's so difficult because you're betting against like two things simultaneously. Like City have got the experience. City have done it before. They've got experience chasing down both Arsenal and Liverpool and winning it from those positions. Arsenal mentally, I think, just not great in terms of leading. I think Arsenal's leadership. I think Arsenal have got a mega insecurity complex, and I think that's caused as much by Arteta as it is by and their own fans. Actually, look at all the comments that come into me during when we're doing Arsenal watch-alongs or after Arsenal watch-alongs. It's always like, oh, you don't give Arsenal credit, and we don't play bad football. But what were all the comments last night? All the comments from Arsenal fan channels, all the Arsenal socials that you looked at after the game, it was all just how bad they played, how poor, how negative. They all say the exact same things I say. Isn't Voltemada apparently unhappy and willing to leave? I'm assuming it's untrue, right? Well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. I guess we'll only know in the summer, but it wouldn't surprise me if it were true. Julius, I got my cat today. Lovely. What have you called him? Or her? Rasta says, hey, Key, have you heard anything of Voltemada wanting to leave Newcastle at the end of the season? I've heard it, but how true it is, we don't know. The Masked Fish. I feel rival fans say Arsenal bottle more than Arsenal fans say they're going to win the league. I don't know. I don't think there's too much in that, to be honest. The Arsenal, I agree, no doubt we're the best team squad in the league, just mental fuck up. That's it, yeah, that is it. I would agree with that. You've got the best team, you've got the best squad, but I think you're kind of just mentally a little bit insecure and can't quite get over the line. And that's the only thing that really causes me any doubt is you've not actually been that good this season. I think that stat was very telling that Arsenal have got fewer points than any other side after 20, fewer than any other leading side in the Premier League than Leicester in 2016-17, and that was like one of the lowest points totals to win a Premier League. So I think it's quite evident that it's a pretty garbage season, and Arsenal are leading as a result. I love Big Nick. He's a Geordie. Onye says he was a 70 million player and maybe at best he'll get 45 to 50. Whoa, what a header. It's 2-1 and it's third. It's El Hoeneß again. Celtic 1, Stuttgart 2. Ball in from the right-hand side and El Hoeneß just ghosting in at the near post. Yeah, he's a fabulous player. But again, we're looking at Kasper Schmeichel. Should Kasper Schmeichel be doing better here? Should Kasper Schmeichel be doing better here? At first glance, I've got to say, I'm not mega impressed with Kasper Schmeichel tonight. I think he's maybe been caused, or he's maybe been a part of Stuttgart's first 2 goals. Ball comes in, he's miles onside. It's a wonderful ball in, and yeah, Nah, do you know what? Maybe I'm being harsh. Angelo Stiller with the cross took a big deflection. I don't think. We can't have too much of a dig at Kasper Schmeichel for that one. It is to his left, though. You're right. It is to his left. The Arsenal, is Mikel Merino a big loss to Arsenal? He's got strong mentality. Yes. Yeah. Mikel Merino, certainly. I don't know how Hoeneß didn't get a good Prem move this summer. Seemed good at a poor Leicester side. Well, he was linked to a few, wasn't he? He was linked to Palace. He was linked to Newcastle. Still think there's a chance he does move to a top Premier League side this summer. Ben says he's on loan from Leicester. Stephen says not picked up. No player marking him. Didn't have to jump, for God's sake. Yeah, poor. The keeper is poor, respectfully, says Vosstyler. And Ben, defenders are too deep. Kasper is definitely not like his father, is he? I think once upon a time he probably was. Like, he was a very decent keeper in the Premier League for such a long time, but time catches up with all of us, unfortunately. Header, chance! Oh, unlucky. Good shot, and Kasper gets to that one. Demirovic, shot blocked. Nearly 3-1 Stuttgart. The Arsenal says, when is Isak expected back for the pool, mate? Apparently, Arne Slot came and said today in a pre-match conference for the Forest game that Alexander Isak is expected back end of March, start of April. So we've got another month without him. He's on the grass. He's building his fitness back up and the strength in his leg and all that stuff. So should hopefully be back just after the international break. Kasper is still playing football. He is indeed, yes. Celtic will need to watch. Too easy for Stuttgart at the minute. And Rasta says Stuttgart for the win, Key. Remember, I told you, fam. You got it, Rasta. I think you're right again. Rasta is our oracle in the chat. He gets everything right. Every prediction the guy makes. I love it. LJ says, Leeds, this is for you. You haven't won a trophy since 1992. Kasper's a short goalkeeper. He's 5'11", lad. 5'11's not short. What are you talking about? It's a giant 5'11". I mean, I'm 6'2", so... Stephen says, who's Rangers playing tonight? Oh, I forgot. Watching EastEnders and Corrie. No EastEnders and Corrie on a Thursday night. At least I'm not that I'm aware of. Hugo and Isak would be unstoppable, says Jake. And Ryan says, Nuno said in his press conference that he is very confident that West Ham will stay up this season. I think so too as well, you know. I think West Ham stay up. Graham says Schmeichel's dad had a better back four in front of him. I don't know, was Schmeichel... How old is Kasper Schmeichel? How old is he? Because it feels like his dad was... Let's have a look. Kasper Schmeichel's 39. When did Peter Schmeichel stop playing? He was in his 40s, wasn't he, Peter Schmeichel? So at 39... Oh, he was basically retired. At this age, Peter Schmeichel was playing for Manchester City in the Premier League, but it was the old Manchester City. It was the pre-Emiratis Manchester City, the pre-Etihad Manchester City of 2002, 2003. And that Manchester City side wasn't necessarily blessed. Let's have a look at that Manchester City side, actually. Where did they finish that season? Hey, 9th. Kevin Keegan. Do you know what? I take it all back. They were 9th, and Peter Schmeichel finished his career there with one final season. They had Peter Schmeichel in goal, Sylvain Distin, Darren Huckabee, Ali Benabia, Paolo Wunchop, Sean Gota, Robbie Fowler, Sean Wright-Phillips was coming through, Steve Howie, Mark Vivian Foey as well, God rest his soul. Nicholas Anelka, of course, and a young Joey Barton coming through. Oh, And a certain Alfie Haaland at centre-back. He'd have just had his boy about then, wouldn't he, as well? He'd have just had his little lad. I wonder what he's gone on to do. Anya, he says, Sebastian Hoeneß is a great coach. I feel like he should be an outside option for some clubs. I think he probably will be in the summer. The Arsenal says, I want Liverpool to finish ahead of United. My hate of United is nearly as strong as my love for Arsenal. Worst commentators ever, Schmeichel and John Barnes, 2 half-wits. And the Arsenal says, best commentator studio pundit was Graham Souness, him and Roy Keane. I like, yeah, in terms of the studio punditry, I like Souness, I like Keane. To be honest, there's quite a few good studio pundits, but I always feel like I enjoy games more when Alan Smith is on co-commentary for the Premier League. I think Alan Smith's a really underrated pundit. I like him a lot. I mean, obviously, for nostalgia, you can't really get past Andy Gray. Andy Gray and I hated Martin Tyler, but Andy Gray and Martin Tyler was like peak Premier League, wasn't it? 3 stars is key. As tonight's performance from Forest sown a few seeds of doubt into your thinking for the result of Sunday's game? Not particularly. I mean, listen, it's planted more of a seed of doubt than I had before the game. So, yeah, I thought Forest were a little bit more composed. But I would also say that Fenerbahce were truly dreadful tonight. And for what it's worth, they were truly dreadful against Villa the other week. We watched them against Villa. They were poor then, and they were really poor tonight. I think Forest did very well, but I think you've got to balance it by thinking Fenerbahce were really, really poor. And the way that they're going, Domenico Tedesco will not long be a manager in Turkey, I don't think. Rasta says 5'11's only 1 each off 6 feet. Well, exactly. Prince, he got blocked. Who's that? Speaking of predictions, when's the last time we saw the Turkish supercomputer? Oh, he was spamming. He was spamming an awful lot and not really making it clear what he was actually predicting. And I tried to explain to him in Turkish, but he wasn't really having it, sadly. They had Anelka, they did, yeah. Ben says, could hear his disappointment last night. Alan Smith, underrated commentator, though. And yeah, buddy says Fenerbahce was pathetic. They didn't even try. I think it was like 30 minutes into the game before Fenerbahce did anything of note. Football Talk says, we are all having a party when Arsenal left it up. And the Arsenal says, if league was starting now or 20 games to go, Arsenal wouldn't get top 4. 2 wins in your last... Is it 2 wins in your last 8 for Arsenal? That's really poor for a side who are chasing down the title. It's, yeah. And the confidence, I think, that Arsenal exuded just not that long ago, you can just see it's been eroded. Jake says, don't you dare say Jamie Carragher. He's an awful pundit. Oh, he's not. No, Jamie Carragher is undoubtedly... Jamie's a fantastic pundit. He does seem to be very harsh on Liverpool, I think. But he has to be, because I think that's a Sky thing. Gary Neville's really harsh on United. United fans are really critical of Gary Neville and Roy Keane, because they're ex-Man United. So, almost, because if they are positive on United, then they get criticism for being too positive, don't they? And for being sort of too biased. And it's the same with Carragher. So Carragher over-eggs his Liverpool criticism, and he comes off harsh, I think. 2 wins in the last 7. The Premiership supercomputer has said Arsenal will win like the last 4 years. And Adam says, Andy Gray, what a hit, son. Oh, yeah, beauty. That's terrible from Stuttgart. Three stars says, tonight's game against Fenerbahce has given us hope again, but I agree. I am old enough, wise enough, and seen plenty of games to know. I'm football, nothing is guaranteed without graft on the pitch. I will say this, I thought Murillo was fantastic at the back. and he's the signing that I want in the summer for Liverpool. I thought Igor Jesus led the line really, really well. And I also think Luca, when he came on, was fantastic for you. So that was a real positive. I think he's going to be a really important part of Forest's season at the end of the season. If you do stay up, I don't know why, got a feeling now that he's going to play a big part, whether it's in scoring goals or just holding the ball up and doing what Chris Wood normally would. Do you think Spurs get a point via Arsenal? I do. Yes. If Arsenal don't win it this year, could you see Rice leave? No. Rice won't leave for two reasons. One, how much do you think Arsenal would charge for him? If Arsenal, let's say Declan Rice walks into Arsenal's boardroom tomorrow and he says, if we don't win the league this season, let's forget how likely this is, by the way. It's very unlikely. But let's say that he did. Let's say Declan Rice storms into the Arsenal boardroom tomorrow and he says, I am fed up with us drawing games and losing games. And fed up with it. I'm leaving at the end of the season. If we don't win the league this year or the Champions League, I'm leaving. I guarantee you. What do you think they're going to charge for Declan Rice? What price would they put on it? Bearing in mind they paid 100 million for him, how much would they charge for Declan Rice? The Arsenal says, how many games do you watch, mate, from all over Europe? Do you watch Serie A, Bundesliga and La Liga? Yeah, I watch all three of them. We watch Liga. We watch the Danish Superliga. We've even watched the Latvian League and the Saudi League over the last couple of months. We watch one game every single day, and you'll find over the summer months where the Premier League's finished and, you know, there's not a whole lot going on. You have to be quite creative about the games you watch. So we just watch a little bit of a mix, a nice mix bag. But I watch at least one game every single day. I've watched two today. This is the second I've watched, but I've only streamed the Celtic game. Adam, if we can get Murillo for 50 mil, that'll be a steal. Maybe even cheaper if they get relegated. I think if they get relegated, we could get him for 50. I think you're looking at closer to 70 if they stay up, though. Ryan says, I can't stand Jamie Carragher. I didn't like when he was spitting at someone in the car. Well, I know, but then again, how do you separate the art from the artist? Can you do that? There's a lot of footballers who are not very nice people, mate, but they're wonderful footballers. And can you appreciate them as footballers while acknowledging that maybe they're not fantastic human beings? I think anyone who spits at anyone is disgusting, to be honest. Whether it's about... I mean, listen, he didn't spit at a kid. Let's draw the line in that. Carragher didn't spit at a kid. He did spit at a fella, though. And that is maybe not as disgusting, but it's still disgusting. Anyone who spits at anyone is vile. So, yeah, I... even under provocation, he apologised. He held his hands up. But... yeah, I still think he's a wonderful pundit, even if he is, under pressure, a questionable human being. Cecil says, the guy in your thumbnail looks like Evil Mustache Man. Who's Evil Mustache Man? I don't know who Evil Mustache Man is. I assume you're referring to Angelo Stiller and not Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Angelo Stiller is a phenomenal player. Julius, when is your next Serie A game? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. We're doing Inter Milan against Bodo Glimt, though, next week. Given Bodo Glimt won 3-1 in Norway, I thought that would be the best game to do. So we're doing Inter against Bodo, and we're doing Real Madrid v Benfica in the return leg. Archie, Latvian League. Yeah, well, no, I didn't have anything on it. That's what we do. That is the whole channel is centered around a game every day. We watch one game every single day as an absolute minimum. That is what we do over on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitch, every single day, and I stream them and we watch them together. And during those, we'll talk about all manner of different things. Stuttgart, Sky, a chance. We'll watch the game together, but we'll chat footy throughout. That's the whole point. Hey, Serla, very kind to send a membership through. And TMUA has received a gift membership. TMUA, welcome to the Premier League Dad Members Club. Thank you very much, Sarah. Very, very kind of you. Very kind. Much appreciated as always. Hall of Famer. Premier League Dad Hall of Famer, Sarah. And Mod. Much love, Sarah. Shell says that was a good game last night, Bodo v Inter. It was a surprise. I certainly didn't think Bodo Glimt would win 3-1. Andy says at least 200 million. Yeah, I think so too. I think you're going to struggle to get anything. And nobody's going to pay 200 million though, are they? That was my point with Declan Rice. Is it doesn't matter really how much Arsenal would charge. Who's going to pay it? Who would pay 200 million for Declan Rice in this current market? Nobody. So they're not going to buy him. He is as close to unpurchasable as you can possibly get. I did, yes. After the Forest game, he lip read him saying "fuck's sake" every fucking time. Yeah, he wasn't happy. The Arsenal, you're doing a quiz tonight? Well, we've already done one quiz before the game, but we will do a quiz at half-time. Yes, I've got another quiz at half-time. Stuttgart ball in. Oh, nearly 3-1. Bloody hell. Celtic nearly an own goal. But Kasper Schmeichel gets it out quickly, and now Celtic on the counter-attack. 45 minutes on the clock. How many added minutes are we going to get? Can Celtic create one more chance before half-time? Three-star says Sangare has certainly improved this season. Murillo tonight, you would not think he's been injured for the past few games. That's if what Dice said about the injury was true, allegedly. And Olam says Man City would. Man City wouldn't pay 200 million for Declan Rice. No, not a chance. I don't think there's not a player who's worth 200 million. Lille 0, Red Star 1, and the Arsenal says £330,000 new contract for Saka. He's been piss poor all season. Well, he got a goal last night. Shell says Murillo is a very big lad. Yeah, he's like he's very stocky build, hasn't he? But he's quite quick. I like him. Clarkey, wasn't this the same Jamie Carragher who slagged off Casemiro? Well, I don't know of another one. I don't really know what's the issue. What's the issue with slagging Casemiro off? Pretty much everybody who was watching football was slagging Casemiro off. Casemiro's been dreadful for the vast majority of his United career. Robert says, Key, I think we should sign the Karabakh goalkeeper. Some of the saves he made for our chances. Yeah, but he also conceded 6. It's going to be a corner to Celtic. There's 3 minutes left to half-time. Is there a chance? Can Celtic maybe, just maybe, get an equaliser before half-time? Corner kick coming up. Listen, we've got a quiz coming up at half-time as well. If you want to be part of that quiz, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. We'll do quizzes. We do quizzes every single game. And we do a game every single day. Ball whipped over to the far side. Headed away by Finn Jeltz. The Arsenal says Zubamendi's been a great signing, but he and Timber are playing very bad at the minute. I think Timber's playing bad. I mean, he's not been at his best, but I wouldn't have said he's been fantastically, I wouldn't have said he's been mega poor either. Marcel, bro, won the World Cup before it happened. I'm just looking after it, Marcel. Yeah, just looking after it. Why do you hate Arsenal for some random reason? I don't hate Arsenal. Yeah, I don't hate Arsenal, mate, I promise you. Long ball up the pitch, cleared away by Celtic, but Stuttgart pick it up. 60 seconds or so left to go to half-time. Araujo pumps it up the pitch. Slices it. Slices it away. Butterborn says, will Arsenal bottle it? I don't think so. No. I'm going to be watching in hope, but I don't think they'll bottle it. I can't see him bottling it. City. You're right, Lou. The Arsenal says Liverpool will win the FA Cup this season. Stuttgart with a strike. Last 30 seconds. Say what, Celtic might take 2-1 at half-time at this point. Stiller does very well there. Gets it over to the right-hand side. No, that's going to be it, I think. 30 seconds to half-time. 3-star says Celtic cannot afford to go to Germany with a 2-goal disadvantage. I honestly think they need at least a point to have any hope of going through. They've got to get something tonight. They've got to get some sort of something to hold on to go to Stuttgart with, because, yeah, Stuttgart have been very, very tidy tonight. In and out of possession. There you go. Half-time. Sebastian Hoeneß heads down the tunnel. Okay, half-time. Nature Nick says, how is Ox not in the squad? I think he's injured, mate. I think he's... or maybe they're just being careful with him. Sarah says, everyone does Ryan well for Arsenal fans. Welsh Wing says, you're more optimistic than me, Key. I think we're going to bottle it. I can't see it, man. I really can't see it. Be amazed if you did at this point. Football legend, what do you think of Andrew's arrest today? I've honestly not paid any attention to the whole saga. Rich people doing rich people things. Yeah, I've nothing to say on the guy. The Arsenal says, would you take the FA Cup or Champions League footy for next season? Champions League footy. Yeah, I think that's more important to us. The FA Cup, sadly, has just become another Carabao Cup. It's not really important in the grand scheme of things. It's not the sort of... It's not something that would be a successful season for Liverpool, finishing 6th and winning the FA Cup. Finishing 5th and getting Champions League footy would be better. Yeah, it's a sad indictment of the English game, but it is very true. Welsh Wing says, hi, Shell, not great. Had stick in work as I'm the only Arsenal fan in my workplace. Right, well, here we go. We've got our half-time quiz. Half-time quiz. Can you name for me the top 20 Scottish players by number of appearances in the Premier League? The top 20 Scottish players by number of appearances in the Premier League. Get your answers in the chat. Give me the top 20 Scottish players. Tierney. No, not Kieran Tierney. John McGinn. John McGinn is good for 13th, John McGinn. Robbo, yeah. Andy Robertson is 4th. Good answer. Scott McTominay, believe it or not, is not in the top 20. John Hartson is Welsh, not Scottish. Big Duncan Ferguson shell. I thought you'd say him. Yeah, Dunk is 9. Duncan Disorderly. Gordon Strachan. No, not Gordon Strachan, believe it or not. He doesn't make the top 20. Again, Gordon Strachan was kind of... He only really played 3 seasons in the Prem, didn't he? Because start of the Premier League, and then he kind of tailed off. He was with Leeds and he was with Coventry for, well, maybe not 3, maybe 4 seasons. But all of these have played more than 4 seasons, I promise you. Darren Fletcher is correct. First, Darren Fletcher. James McFadden. James McFadden isn't. No, not James McFadden. Aidan McGeady. Irish Aidan McGeady. Not Kieran Tierney. Not Robertson. Darren Fletcher we've got. Robertson was 4th, sorry. Not pre-Prem. No, it's only Premier League top 20 Scottish players by number of appearances. Darren Fletcher we've got. Andy Robertson we've got. Duncan Ferguson we've got. John McGinn we've got. You got 4 so far. Not Alan Hutton. Stephen Fletcher. Good answer. Stephen Fletcher is 20th. Charlie Adam is also in there. He's 16th. Colin Hendry. Premier League winner. Colin Hendry is 15th. Yes. With his luscious blonde locks. Keep them coming. Christian Daly, yeah. Christian Daly's in there. Christian Daly, former West Ham defender. Not Che Adams, no. Butter Bontes, who was the one with the blonde mullet, played for Blackburn. That's Colin Hendry. Not Robert Snodgrass. No, not Robert Snodgrass. Not quite. Craig Gordon. No, not Craig Gordon. Not Naismith. Not Stuart McCall. David Weir. Yes, David Weir. Long-time Everton centre-back David Weir is correct. Matt Elliott as well. Yeah, Matt Elliott. League Cup winner for Leicester City. League Cup winning captain for Leicester City. Matt Elliott is in there. He is 17th. Not Naismith, but a good answer. Keep them coming. You've still not got number... I can't believe you've not got number 2. Number 2 might well be my all-time favourite Scottish Premier League player. There you go, Gary Mack. Gary Mack, Gary Mack. Not Charlie Nicholas, not Matt Phillips. Charlie Nicholas. Champagne Charlie Nicholas. Don Hutchinson, Robert. Yeah, Don Hutchinson. Ex-Liverpool and Everton, Don Hutchinson. Not Kenny Dalglish. No, Premier League only, Sarah. You've got a Wigan and a Crystal Palace player in third. Not Frank McAvenny, no. You've got a West Brom midfielder. You've got a Man United fullback. You've got a Liverpool centre-back. Telfer. Yeah, Paul Telfer. He played for a few clubs for a long, long time. You've got another Premier League winning centre-forward. James Morrison for the West Brom one, surely. Yep, James Morrison is correct. And Neil Sullivan, also correct. Neil Sullivan briefly played for Chelsea, didn't he? As well as Wimbledon, of course, where he was with Wimbledon for pretty much most of the time. Sarah, not Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce was English. Not John Scales, no English as well. Phil Bardsley is right, Robert. Yep. Phil Bardsley, right back for Manchester United. And James MacArthur. Yes, James MacArthur of Wigan and Crystal Palace. You've got 1, 2, 3 left to get. One of them played for Everton in midfield. Shell, you should get him. Not Stephen Hendry, he was English. McGinn, we've already got. You've got a centre-forward. Not Ryan Fraser, no. Got a centre-forward who won the Premier League. You've got an ex-Everton midfielder with a famous dad. And you've got a Liverpool centre-back who played in the Champions League for Leeds. That's basically given you all of them there. I'll be amazed if them clues don't get you all 3 of them. So far we've got Stephen Fletcher, Christian Daly. You've not got number 18. 17th is Matt Elliott. 16th, Charlie Adam. 15th is Colin Hendry. 14th is Don Hutchinson. 13th is John McGinn. 12th you've not got. 11th is David Weir. 10th Neil Sullivan. 9th Duncan Ferguson. 8th you've not got yet. 7th is Phil Bardsley. Number 6th is James Morrison. 5th Paul Telfer. 4th Andy Robertson. 3rd James MacArthur. 2nd Gary McAllister. And 1st Darren Fletcher. Not Brian McClure. No, not Angus Gunn. Not Pat Nevin. Dominic Matteo. There you go. Dominic Matteo is in the 8th. Dominic Matteo played for Liverpool for large parts of his career. Played for Leeds. Played for Blackburn. Gemmell is correct. Yes. Scott Gemmell. Son of Archie Gemmell. The legendary Scottish midfielder. And you've got 1 left to get. 1 left to get. Not Stephen Naismith for Everton. No. No, it's a Premier League centre-forward who won the league as well. Premier League winning centre-forward. So, Stephen Naismith made 103 appearances for Everton and 44 for Norwich. This guy made... Oof. 240 something for Coventry, Blackburn and Newcastle United. Predominantly it was Blackburn where he was known. Rabsy Nesbitt. We've already got David Weir, not Nathan Patterson. We've already got not Darren Ferguson, no. Not Brian McClure. Eric McCantonar. Not quite Paul, no. Not Darren Watkins. Kevin Gallagher, there you go. Kevin Gallagher, centre forward. Premier League winning centre forward for Blackburn, wasn't he, Kevin Gallagher? Yeah, he was back up to Sutton and Shearer in the Premier League winning side of 95. Not Gary Naismith. Sorry, Archie. There you go. So yeah, that was the top 20 Scottish players by number of appearances in the Premier League. Number 20, Stephen Fletcher. 19, Christian Daly. 18th, Kevin Gallagher. 17th, Leicester's League Cup winning captain, Matt Elliott. 16th, Charlie Adam, who could take a corner but couldn't do much else if he was playing for Liverpool. 15th was Colin Hendry. 14th was former Liverpool and Everton midfielder Don Hutchinson. Played for Sunderland as well, of course. And West Ham, and bounced around a little bit. 13th, one of my favourite players in the Premier League is John McGinn. 12th, son of Archie Gemmell, Scott Gemmell, played for Everton for a number of years. 11th is David Weir, fantastic centre-back, formerly of Rangers and Everton. 10th, Neil Sullivan, goalkeeper for Wimbledon and Chelsea briefly. 9th was Duncan Ferguson. Again, wonderful centre-forward for Everton and Newcastle for them briefly. 8th, Dominic Matteo. 7th, Phil Bardsley. 6th, James Morrison. 5th was Paul Telfer. 4th, maybe my favourite Liverpool player ever, Andy Robertson. 3rd was James MacArthur. 2nd, maybe my second favourite Liverpool player ever, Gary McAllister. And 1st is Darren Fletcher. So there you go. They are the top 20 Scottish players by number of appearances. Robbie McFowler. Foxy Gallagher was actually pretty solid for us in his later years too. He did okay at Newcastle, didn't he? I mean, he got what? Well, 2 years at Newcastle he spent. 3 goals in 25 appearances in his first year. 3 goals in 22 in his second year. And then he left for Preston. Sheffield Wednesday, and then retired at Huddersfield Town a couple of years later. Gemmell played for Forest as well. He did, yes, yeah. Yeah, good. He was a decent player, Gemmell. He was all right. He scored a great goal for Everton, I remember. I think it might have been in the derby, actually. Did he score in the derby? I have got another one we could do. Do you want to do top 20 German players, seeing as we're watching Celtic Stuttgart? Should we do top 20 Germans? Top 20 German players in Premier League history by number of appearances. Get your answers in. Go on, let's do the top 20 Germans as well. Joe, to be fair, like he was about 80. To be fair, Gary McAllister was 36 when we signed him on a free, and he ended up being one of our best ever signings. Havertz, yeah, Kai Havertz is 9th in the list on appearances in the Premier League. Dietmar Hamann is 2nd. Klinsmann doesn't make the top 20, no. Michael Ballack does, though. Michael Ballack sneaks in at number 16. Mesut Ozil is 6th. Mertesacker is 8th. Just ahead of Havertz. Not Klinsmann, not Rito Ziegler, no. 3-star says Gemmell was a tidy player at Forest as well. Well, watched him a few times while watching the Reds in the Clough years. Hamann, Ozil, we've already got. Ballack, we've got. Mertesacker, we've got. We're doing the top 20 Germans. Given we're watching Celtic and Stuttgart, the top 20 Germans by number of appearances in the Premier League. İlkay Gundogan is 5th, correct. Mustafi is in there. Yeah, he sneaks in at 18th. Everton legend. Liverpool lot. Babel, Ziege, Hamann. Ziege sneaks in at number 19. Hamann is 2nd, but not Marcus Babbel. No, fabulous player though, Marcus Babbel. Lewis says, big up, just found your channel. Seemed like a top guy, bro. Lewis, mate, I really appreciate you coming on and saying that. Thank you. We're doing our halftime quiz. Currently, we do that every single game. If you're new around here, we do a halftime quiz every single game. And we watch a game every single day together. That's what the whole channel is about. We watch a game of football every day. I'm a Liverpool fan, but you'll find in the chat that we have got Arsenal fans and West Ham fans and Forest fans and Chelsea fans and City fans and everyone, and fans for up and down the leagues as well. We've even got some Everton fans, believe it or not. But yeah, we've got lots of fans in the chat. Get amongst it. Get your answers in for the quiz as well. And lovely to have you, mate. Jens Lehmann, says Andy. Correct. Jens Lehmann, what a keeper he was. He's at number 10. Podolski is right as well, the Arsenal. Yeah, Podolski sneaks in. No, he doesn't, actually. I tell a lie. But Sané does. Does he? No, I was wrong on Sané as well. I was wrong on Leroy Sané and I was wrong on Podolski. They're not there. And neither's Bastian Schweinsteiger. Neither of them are good enough for the top 20 appearances in the Premier League. Let me just start the second half clock off, sorry. Because we're very, very close to 30 seconds in, are we? 30 seconds into the second half. Come on, Key. There you go. Right. Huth will be high. Robert Huth is first. He's not just high, he's the highest. And Pascal Gross is also there. He's fourth. Yeah, not Podolski. Definitely not Voltemade and Wirtz as S7. No, not quite. Janelt is seventh, though. Fantastic answer. Yes, yeah, Stefan Freund too. Not Karl-Heinz Riedler, not Schürrle. Alexander does things. VfB Stuttgart. Yes. That's who we're watching tonight. Not, was Rudiger in there? Yes, Rudiger's 11th. I'll give you the ones you've got so far, just as a reminder. We're doing, oh, hang on a minute, Celtic are on the attack here. That's going to be a foul, ref, surely. No. Chance for Celtic, if you can get the ball in here. Araujo, it's going to be a throw-in. We're doing the top 20 Germans by number of appearances in Premier League history. So far, we've got, in the chat, get your answers in. We've not got number 20. Number 19 is Ziege. 18, Mustafi. 16, Ballack. 14, Stefan Freund. 11th is Rudiger. 10th, Lehmann. 9th, Havertz. 8th, Mertesacker. 7th, Vitali Janelt. 6th, Ozil. 5th, Gundogan. 4th, Gross. You've not got 3rd. 2nd is Haman. And 1st is Huth. Uwe Rosler. Uwe Rosler is 17th. Former Wigan manager. Middlesbrough fan too as well, yeah, Butterborn, of course. Foxy says, ex-Arsenal and Fulham player Moritz Volz, correct, he's number 12th. Not Socrates, no, he's Greek. Werner maybe sneaks in, not quite, no, not Werner. Emre Can, no, not Emre Can. Leno is 3rd, good answer, Adam. Yeah, Adam got Bernd Leno right, he's 3rd, so you've now got the top 12. We are missing... Oh, sorry, Emre Can is right. Apologies. I am bang wrong on that one. Emre Can is 15th. So you've got 2 left to get. 2 left to get. You've got a midfielder and a current Premier League attacker. A current Premier League attacker. Hitzelsberger is right, yes. 13th. Well guessed, Adam. And there's 1 left to get. A current Premier League attacker is number 20. Not Schürrle, not Sané. We've already got Pascal Gross. Madhouse, I thought your favourite was Fowler. Well, he is. He is and he isn't. He is, but I love Robbo. Robbo's maybe my favourite current one. And Gary McAllister I just loved because he was 36. We signed him on a free. Nobody really expected anything. He ended up being our player of the season. He was just unbelievable. Not Gnabry, no. Current Premier League centre forward / winger. S7, who's 3? Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno was 3. So Huth, Haman, Leno, Gross, Gundogan, Ozil, Janelt, Mertesacker, Havertz, Lehmann, Rudiger, Volz, Hitzelsberger, Freund, Can, Ballack, Rosler, Mustafi, Ziege, And number 20 is Schade. Kevin Schade. There you go. Final answer. Top 20 German players by number of appearances in the Premier League. There you go. Done 2 lovely quizzes there at half-time. Thanks very much, Sarah. Yeah, if you haven't already, please hit the like button if you enjoyed those quizzes. We bring one every single day at least. And we'll have more tomorrow. We're doing the Lancashire Derby tomorrow. So Preston against Derby County. Blackburn against Preston. Where's Derby County coming to my head? Blackburn against Preston tomorrow in the Lancashire Derby. I think it's because I was about to say Derby. And I've put, yeah, that's where that's gone. Wires crossed. But yeah, it's Blackburn against Preston. We watched the game at Deepdale earlier this season on this channel. And Blackburn won at Deepdale. Even though Preston are just outside the playoff places on goal difference. And Blackburn are right down the bottom end of the table, really struggling. They've just appointed a new manager in Michael O'Neill, who is on a job share. He's the Northern Ireland national manager, and he's got the job to the end of the season with Blackburn to try and keep them in the division. We love a quiz. Arsenal says, do you remember Fowler's hat-trick via Arsenal? I do, yeah. 3 minutes 42 seconds, I believe it was, wasn't it? Or was it 4 minutes 42 seconds? I can't remember. But I remember watching that vividly. Foxy, how's the game been so far? Palace embarrassing, ruined my bet. The game's been quite entertaining so far. Actually, it was a fast start, 2 errors, error from Celtics. Yeah, you'd probably say it was Kasper Schmeichel's fault, but I think the defence could have done better as well. They made an error, and Kasper Schmeichel definitely should have done better with the shot from Bilal El Khanous, former Leicester player. He scored to put Stuttgart 1-0 in front. And then Stuttgart messed it up themselves at the back. It was a bit of a catastrophe from the captain in midfield. Ended up losing the ball while he was trying to fanny around with it at the back with the goalkeeper. And Nygren ran onto it, rounded the goalkeeper, tapped it in. Really good finish from Celtic to make it 1-1. And then just before half-time, Angelo Stiller puts a cross in, gets a bit of a deflection, loops up, and Bilal El Khanous didn't even have to jump. He just waltzed into the Celtic 6-yard box and headed it in past Kasper Schmeichel. Again, Celtic probably would look at that and think we should be doing better defensively. Araujo's driving forward here. Really good run from Araujo. Rapid. Oh, ball played back. He's got to get the ball right, though. Cleared away. That was better. That was better. Kasper is a teddy bird at heart. And the Arsenal says, Firmino always scored the Arsenal. Who is Liverpool's nemesis? Someone who always scores against Liverpool. Ooh. John, show the game. John, I don't think you... Mate, has no one ever taught you manners? Did no one ever teach you manners? Don't think anyone ever taught John manners. How would your mother react to you speaking to people like that, John? I'm sure she wouldn't be very happy. Come on, you was raised better than that, mate. You was raised much better than that. Butterborn says, if you could serve cold beer with these quizzes, you could be onto something. Well, that's kind of what it is. I'm trying to... That's the whole point of the channel. I'm trying to build like a pub-style atmosphere. Without the beer. I mean, you can have beer if you want, but that's on you. But a bit of a pub-style atmosphere where we watch the game and just, chat footy and... Yeah, we do that every night. Maybe don't drink every night. That might lead to some issues. Drogba tortured you, mate. To be honest, I'm trying to think of players who've scored the most against Liverpool. Who always seem to score against us. That might be an answer. That might be a quiz, that. There you go, Welshwing. Foxy says Andy Cole always scored against Liverpool. Yeah, he scored a couple of good ones for Blackburn, I think, as well, when he was there. Andy Cole always scored, yeah. I'm trying to think of other players who always score. Bet that there's definitely a quiz in that, isn't there? Who scored the most goals against Liverpool in the Prem? Welshwing says, Key, I have a question if you want to do that as well. Let's see how the game goes. If it's drifting... We'll do it if you're still around for it, obviously. I don't want to hog your time, mate. I really appreciate it. If not, though, and then we can always do it next time you're in. If you're in tomorrow, we can do it for half-time tomorrow. But Hey, listen, it's hard work keeping original and creative on these quizzes. Because so far, we've not recycled any, have we? Nobody's accused us yet of, hey, we did that quiz the other week or whatever. We're flying through these quizzes. It's all good. You've got to keep them creative and interesting. And if you're doing a game a day, if we've done 512 games last year, 500 plus this year, it's gonna be very difficult to stay creative and original. But yeah, we'll definitely have more need for them, mate. So I'm trying to not do like 6 quizzes a game because we'll need to save some back to keep them creative. Especially yours, because yours are better than mine. I need to stay. I'm trying to up my game to catch up to you. Clarky, a game a day keeps the Arsenal away. Adam, he's a Celtic fan. I doubt he was raised any better. Oh, hey, can't be saying that. I don't mind Celtic. I like Celtic. They're okay. They pinched Liverpool's song, but I quite like them. Harry Kane did score quite a bit against us. Aguero. Did Aguero score? I think he only ever scored once at Anfield, didn't he, Aguero? Scored a fair few at the... Do you know what it felt like Sané did? Soon we'll end up with a Roque Santa Cruz quiz. They've got to be... Have you still got the quiz cards you got for Christmas? I have them here. Look. Here. Quiz cards I got for Christmas. They're all ready to go with a set of AirPods in there as well. But yeah, I've got... This is just the random quiz questions I got for Christmas. I was lovingly bought by my sister-in-law. Mike, what game is on? We're watching Celtic against Stuttgart, mate. It's currently 2-1 to Stuttgart. Celtic going to have to get something, I think, ahead of the second leg in Germany. Lewis, saw your reaction to the Arsenal game yesterday. Brilliant, mate. Cheers, man. This is what we do every day. Yeah. This is just every day on this channel. We watch games of footy and react raw like that. Drita 1, Celya 2. And Adam says Foden seems to have scored a fair few against us. Yeah. Henry 2. Good shout. Yeah. Henry did seem to score quite a few against Liverpool. I mean, he scored a few against everyone, didn't he, Henry? Stuttgart. Oh, what a strike. What a strike. And it's Llewellyn. Llewellyn with an effort. And again, I've got to be honest. Should Schmeichel have done better? I think he should. Jamie Llewellyn smashes it in. And it probably should have been an easy one, a comfortable one for Schmeichel, but he's thrown it in. It's a bad night for Schmeichel. Of the 3 goals, at least 2 of them he could have done better with. And I think some of these Celtic players are looking to the skies and saying, this keeper's got to do a bit better. It's a simple effort, really. I mean, he hits it well, but I think any keeper worth the salt here has got to be... It's 25 yards out. Oh, it's poor. No, it's straight at him. It's straight at Schmeichel. That's unforgivable for the keeper. It does bounce just in front of him, but no, he's got to keep that out. Oh, it's horrendous that from Kasper Schmeichel. Time for Schmeichel to go to Saudi. At 39, will they want him? Hepic says, I did say Stuttgart 3-1. You did indeed. Foxy says, big fan of the Stuttgart manager, Hoeneß. Clubs will be looking to take him soon. Yeah, he's definitely next off the German production line of energetic managers wearing a cap. You know, we've had Tuchel, we've had Nagelsmann, obviously Klopp's the OG. Now, Sebastian Hoeneß, he'll be next in line for the move to the Premier League, I would imagine. Eccentric, energetic managers. Stuttgart are in, should be 4, and it is 4. Oh no! And the tie might well be killed off there. Erdin Demirovic, the Bosnian, has just put Stuttgart 4. Oh no, Celtic. Demirovic has put it in. He's been absolutely prolific. And I tell you, look at that. They're streaming out the exits here. 59 minutes on the clock at Parkhead. And the Celtic fans are pouring out the exits. How simple was that? Oh, he might be offside. I think the VAR might save him here. VAR might just save him. I think it's going to be saved by VAR. It's not going to be a goal, that one. It's a lovely pass, admittedly, but I think it is going to be ruled out for offside. It's a lovely finish, though, from Demirovic, it must be said. Bring back Wilfried Nancy. Martin O'Neill out, adjusted for Wilfried Nancy. Offside, I think. No, I think that one's going to be ruled out, to be honest, Prince Rupert. I think it is offside. So it's going to be back down to 3-1 and maybe just a lifeline for Celtic. Maybe just a lifeline for... Listen, even at 3-1, Celtic are still going to have to... They're going to have to get it back to 3-2. To go to Stuttgart and win is... That's going to be so difficult. The European campaign basically hinges on this decision. I think it is going to be offside. If it's ruled out, yeah, offside. There you go. That is the right decision, I think. So it is Celtic 1, Stuttgart 3. The Demirovic goal is going to be chalked off. Drew Blue says, this is brilliant. And Red and White Army says, please don't say Tierney was at fault. No, he wasn't at fault there. I don't think there was anyone really at fault. I think it was just a good finish. It just felt like Celtic didn't press well enough, and Stuttgart had all the time in the world, straight from a score in the third. You know, Celtic have got to get their arse into gear here. They've got to wake up. The Arsenal says it's great that we've got a proper title race in the Scottish Prem for a change. Be great if Hearts won it. Yeah, I'd like the old Jam Tarts to win it this year. Brady, good to see you, my friend. Woke up today saying I can't wait for Rangers to play today, then remembered we're out. D True Blue says ridiculous decision. Up the Gers. I've got a few Rangers fans in the chat. Guessing you're one of them. But Brady's a Rangers fan. Foxy says, sad to see the standard so poor in Scotland at the moment. They support the team so well. Hearts making the league exciting. But really it's because Celtic and Rangers have been so bad. Do we think there is at some point in the future a world where Celtic and Rangers are incorporated into the Premier League? I wouldn't mind. I mean, there was I saw I can't remember who it was who went out and did it. It was a fan channel, basically went out and asked pre-match maybe 30 Rangers fans, 30 Celtic fans it was, before a big European game. Would you want to go and sort of move, let's say the Scottish Premiership was bought by the Premier League and everyone in the Scottish top flight, let's say all of the Scottish football leagues just combined with the English Football League, and Celtic and Rangers... I honestly think even if you put Celtic and Rangers in the Championship, within 5 years, I think they'd both be in the Premier League. If you put them in the Premier League, I think within 5 years, they'd both be in the Champions League. Or certainly in Europe, let's say that. They've got such a phenomenal following, and it's just a shame they've been so poorly run, I think, at different times, haven't they? They'd be relegated. Well, on current showing, yes. I think they'd probably be relegated on current showing. But I think if you gave them maybe immunity of some sort, like we'll get you in the Premier League and give you Premier League money the same way that every other bugger has for a couple of years, and give you the opportunity to come in, have a bit of a safety net for a year, let's say. Let's give you a year of safety. And then... I think with Premier League money, Celtic and Rangers would be in and around the European places. Wouldn't take them very long. 5 years or so. Paul says Rangers and Celtic would struggle in the Championship. And Brady says, let me be so honest, bro. If we can even win the SPFL, we're never getting close to the top 10. We'd be relegated back to the third league of football for the second time. Celtic down the left-hand side here. Chance, if they can get this one into the box. Hatate, strike! Oh, what a save! Oh, that was bottom corner. That was a wonderful chance. Celtic, can they get this one? Well done, Tierney. Strike! Miles wide. That's not good enough. That's really not good enough, that. But it was a wonderful save, must be said. Who was it who had the shot from the edge of the box there? Nygren again. Yeah, Nygren again, and Alexander Nubel with a phenomenal save low down to his right. Foxy says eventually with the Prem money, Celtic and Rangers would be bigger than most sides in the Prem. Giant clubs and fan bases. And Welshwing says, fuck it, get Bretton Ferry in the Prem. We'll show Arsenal how to not bottle it. I wouldn't mind getting more of the Welsh League incorporated in. But it is weird, isn't it, that like that Swansea and Wrexham and Newport are part of the English League, but then you've got, TNS and Carmarthen, whatever. You've got an actual Welsh Premier as well as that. But they have just elected to not be in. Colin, MUFC, what score is it? It's Celtic 1, Stuttgart 3, mate. On a Permos says Casper's getting booed. That's not nice. That's not good enough. You don't want to see your keeper getting booed for a couple of errors. Yeah, you don't want to see that. I don't think it's a lack of effort from Kasper Schmeichel. I think you've got to support your team, even though he's made some errors there that have cost Celtic. At the end of the day, he's 39. He probably shouldn't be starting for Celtic in an ideal world. It's a reflection of where Celtic are. 3 Stars says, I do not think UEFA or FIFA would allow it, though, because of the coefficient rankings. I know, but at some point they could do. In theory, they could do. If they combined the 2 leagues. I don't know. Maybe there isn't a way, but I would think if Celtic and Rangers, possibly Hearts, maybe Aberdeen, maybe Hibs, came into the English Football League, then that would just decimate the rest of the Scottish football, wouldn't it? What happens to your Livies, your Ross Counties, your Dunfermlines, your Dundees? Prince Rupert says there's a video on YouTube about the Swansea, Cardiff and Wrexham situation if you're interested. I'll have a look. What's it called? Greetings from Germany and Borussia. Yes, love that, Inkal. Lots of love to Borussia. Are you Dortmund or Mönchengladbach? Foxy, I'd like to see the Welsh, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Scottish League combined. Would improve all the nations overall. Be a couple of long commutes though, wouldn't it? If you've got to fly from Dundee to Belfast for an away game or whatever. Liam, hi, did you watch the Newcastle game yesterday? I did, yeah. Great performance from Newcastle in Qarabag. Should kill the game off, to be honest. Here's Tunekti. Celtic need to get one back at least. Really poor that from Tunekti. Runs it out and it's a goal kick. Really poor. Clarkey, if Celtic play Man United, key in the Premier League, who are you supporting? Celtic. Easy. This is apple juice, by the way. It's not a sample. Just in case anyone was wondering. Prince Rupert, I forget what it's called. Been a while since I watched it, I'm afraid. I'll have a look. I'll Google it, mate. I'll find it. Thank you for flagging it to me, though, by the way. 3 star. Can't you get a cream for your Bopdi? Inkal says, greetings from Germany and Borussia Mönchengladbach. I thought you was going to be Borussia Mönchengladbach, by the way. I was thinking, is you going to be Dortmund or Mönchengladbach? I was hoping that you would be Mönchengladbach. My team is Liverpool, and yeah, we've got a big history with Borussia Mönchengladbach in Europe. It's one place I've not been though to in Germany, Borussia Park. Foxy says, but have league groups where you only play in the country and then have a playoff system where the top teams from each league group go into a knockout stage. We should have like a UK knockout-based cup, shouldn't we? Which includes like, you know, even your Shelbournes and your Bohemians and Pennybont. Get them all amongst it. Celtic into the box. Big chance. Oh, it was a wonderful run. Was that Hatate gliding into the box? Oh, Yang, wonderful run that. It's a fabulous run on the right-hand side. Brilliant play. Skips inside, beats 2 men, gets to the byline, pulls it back, and Stuttgart just about get it away for a corner. Celtic are not giving this up. There's still 20-odd minutes to go. They're not giving it up just yet. How are things going with Eugene Polanski? in Mönchengladbach this year. I've not seen much of them, to be honest. I've not seen enough of Mönchengladbach. I know you sacked Jerry Schwan. Yeah, I can't remember his name. You sacked him, didn't you, early in the season, and Polanski came in. But I've not followed Mönchengladbach too much since then. Right. Who is Celtic's record by, says the Arsenal. Ooh, Celtic's record by. Who would that be? That's a very good question. I don't know, you know. Celtic's record by. My guess would be someone like Odsonne. Was Edouard maybe? Odsonne Edouard? Would that be a reasonable answer? Let me have a look. Not that good. Could be his last 1 or 2 games now. Oh my god. Well, that's a shame. To be honest, you did all right last season. I thought for a while you looked like you was going to sneak into Europe, but yeah, not great for Mönchengladbach. I like Mönchengladbach a lot, and you've just sold Luca Netz, of course, to Forest. I mean, that's the big summer, well, the big signing that Forest made over the summer or over the January window. Luca Netz. Be interesting to see how he adapts to the Premier League. Right, Celtic. Most expensive signings. Let me have a look, because you've intrigued me now. You've piqued my interest. Bilal El Khanous is being subbed off, so he's not going to get a hat-trick tonight. Celtic record arrivals. Number 1 is Jota. Oh, okay. Jota from Benfica for 16 million euros. Then it's Arne Engels. Then it's Odsonne Edouard. And then it's Jota again from Stade Rennais. 5th is Adam Ider for 9 million. 6th is still Chris Sutton from Chelsea. 7th, John Hartson from Coventry. 8th, Isle Berkovic. Do you remember when John Hartson kicked Isle Berkovic in the head? I remember that. It was training footage, wasn't it, when they were at West Ham? John Hartson literally kicked him in the head. 9, Neil Lennon from Leicester, and 10 was Christopher Julien from Toulouse. There you go. There are your top 10 Celtic signings. I wouldn't have said Jota, and I wouldn't have said Arne Engels. I forgot about both of those. But Odsonne Edouard, 10 million from PSG. Prince Rupert says, what's your take on crowds playing drums during games? I like the idea of it in theory, but in practice it does get annoying to listen to in the long run when it's the same repetitive beat. I think they have to have some sort of a... Maybe they have to be employed by the club. I don't know. I don't mind things that are done by the club to improve atmosphere. In an ideal world, you would just have a lot of people who are really up for the occasion and all know the songs and all are up for singing and shouting to support their team. But actually, on a cold winter's night when everyone's just huddled up together, it is quite cold. I understand that the club sometimes have to manufacture an atmosphere, and you see with some teams they'll do things that I think are mega cringy, like Norwich, for example. Whenever there's a goal scored, they play, and Seville do this, lots of European teams do it, it's a very European thing. Every time a goal is scored, they play a song. And it might be like, I think Wigan did it as well. Wigan used to do it in the Premier League. Celtic, poor ball, that, really poor ball. Big chance, and they gave it away. Rasta just got back in, Kay. How's the game going? Stuttgart still for the win? Yes, looks like it's going to be 3-1. Stuttgart so far, still 15 to go. Welsh Ring says Andre Flo is Rangers' most expensive signing, followed by Michael Ball. And Foxy says Adam Ider, what a bad signing that was. Sure, he's struggling in the MLS as well now. He seemed like a decent signing when he came in, didn't he? But didn't he start quite well but then just tail off? In Collier says, Luca and Thomas both not always well performance for Borussia here. Nice to see Thomas performing better there. And Prince Rupert says at least it's better than Vuvuzelas. Yeah. Oh, again, really poor that. Celtic strike, handball claim. Nah, you're not getting a handball for that. Do you miss Luis Diaz? Have Liverpool missed him this season? I think we have missed him, but I think the bigger issue is that we just didn't replace him. We sold Luis Diaz and didn't get anyone in to replace him. That's the big problem for Liverpool. Tahoe says, as an Arsenal fan, we have given the league no mentality. You're not getting an handball for that. It's never a handball. His work rate's amazing. He's very fast. He's a good dribbler, but ultimately he's not any more effective, really, in terms of creating chances or scoring goals than Cody Gakpo is. Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz were a really good pairing for us on the left-hand side. We needed, when we sold Luis Diaz, someone else to come in like him, and unfortunately, we didn't get anyone. We left a 16-year-old Rio Engamoa as Luis Diaz's replacement, and it's no surprise that we've been short there. And it's also no surprise, sadly, that Cody Gakpo's getting a load of stick, even though it's not his fault. Welshwing says, fun fact, when Kolo Touré first came to Arsenal, he injured Bergkamp Henry and Arsene Wenger in his first training session. I've heard that story. Yeah, didn't he slip because he was flying about everywhere and he flew into Arsene Wenger? Skendia 0, Samson Spore 1. The Arsenal says, what Everton player scored the most against Liverpool? Graham Sharp. Ooh, possibly. Duncan Ferguson got a few. Kevin Campbell got a couple. He got a famous winner at Anfield, Kevin Campbell. I don't think Wayne Rooney ever scored in the derby. Or if he did when he came back. He got a penalty against us at Anfield. That was never a penalty, by the way. It's a great run down the left-hand side. Celtic, chance. Oh, they've got to get one back. To make this interesting, to make the second leg interesting back in Germany, they have to get one back. It has been all Celtic, admittedly, for the last 15 minutes or so. It's all Celtic. Stuttgart are penned into their own half. You might say Stuttgart have taken a sort of dropped off 10 to 15 yards and they're inviting Celtic on. They're quite happy for Celtic to come on. Because they're not doing anything really. That's a great pass though down the left-hand side. Chance here. Oh, and the cross is dreadful. That's unforgivable. If you get into an area like that, you've got to put the ball into Nekti and he just smashes it behind. That's terrible. The Arsenal says best player to get a career-ending injury was Abu Diaby. He was amazing. Vieira ×5. I liked Abu Diaby. Yeah, scored a very good goal for Arsenal against Liverpool at Anfield in the Champions League that night. I was thinking of Leia Labada. And Welshwing says, yeah, apparently he wasn't used to the wet conditions and was sliding everywhere. Right, Demirovic out, and in comes Thiago Tomas. Stuttgart are making another change too. And it's, is it Juarez coming on? Chabo's coming off, and Jaquez coming on. Did you hear about Coutinho walking out on Vasco? Brazilian fans are ruthless. The Brazilian, what? I've not heard about the Brazilian fans doing anything to him. My understanding of it, I could be wrong. My understanding is that he's left because of mental health issues. He said that he was terminating his contract for mental health reasons, and they've agreed to. That's my that's my limited understanding anyway. Gabriel says, why do you hate Arsenal? I don't hate Arsenal, mate. Prince Rupert, wasn't that the case with Willian as well when he went back to Brazil? Didn't stay for long. Well, I heard there was something to do with one of his teammates. How true this is, I don't know, but there was something about one of his teammates was in prison for 22 years for some horrific crime involving the death of his partner, and he was sentenced to 22 years, but only served half of that, and he's subsequently come out and is now playing for Vasco da Gama. And I don't know if that's been a factor in Coutinho's decision, but he's playing for Vasco da Gama tonight in the Brazilian Cup. Gabriel says, what do you make of the Vinny Jr. situation? I don't really know. There's not really an awful lot to say, is there? To be honest, that's not already been said. I mean, it shouldn't have to be said, but I'll say it anyway. Racism is abhorrent, and it shouldn't happen to anyone. And whenever I hear it's happened, I just think it's stupid. It's when I hear someone's been racist, like, you just think, I just pity him. I just think it's stupid. But at the same time, like, I think you've got to follow due process. You have to follow due process, and it's baffled me a little bit that you've got people being so strong on Prestiani, like really, really strong on him, but then saying allegedly. And that's the problem, isn't it? Inherently, that is the issue. So you've got big names being really strong, calling him a coward and all this stuff, which, by the way, if he said what he said, then absolutely he is. But they're basically condemning the guy, but then saying allegedly. Well, if it's allegedly, then it's allegedly. If it's not allegedly, then don't say allegedly. Have the balls to say what you're saying. Welsh Ring says, I remember Sol Campbell walking out of Arsenal after he made 7 errors in one game and was subbed off at half-time. And Brian says, did you hear, Key, that former Everton Liverpool manager Rafa Benitez is on the brink of being sacked? I saw rumours of it, but I don't know what's going on with that. The Arsenal says, can you name 2 former Arsenal players to score a hat-trick against Liverpool and 1 current one? Trossard is the current one, and in terms of former Arsenal players to score a hat-trick against Liverpool, former Arsenal player, Baptista didn't he? And I'm sure Henry has. Vasco winless in the league, the fans are on his case, quite sad. Oh, that's a shame. Rolando says, cooking Stuttgart, they're playing very well. And then UFC Lewis says, Newcastle were fantastic last night. Don't care if they're not very good. But we were class. Oh, Arshavin, of course. And I've got that top. I got that top. The yellow one, isn't it, with the blue pattern? Yeah, 4. Scored 4 against Liverpool at Anfield. Arshavin, of course. How did I get that wrong? Arshavin, Julio Baptista in the League Cup, and Trossard while he was at Brighton. Yeah. And I've done this question before, so Welshwing don't cheat and Foxy don't cheat, because you guys know the answer. But there's only one player who's scored a hat-trick at Anfield in the Premier League and been on the winning side. Only one player. That's one of my favourite quiz questions, that. Nobody ever gets it, but everyone remembers the player. Foxy says, Prestiani has been really defending himself on social media, which makes you question if he really is guilty. I don't like the stereotype of people calling Argentines racist as well. That's not fair. Well, that's just effectively the same thing, isn't it? There's people have been saying, oh, well, yeah, you know, Argentines, they're known for it. They're known for being... Come on, that's no word. That's no better than what you're alleging he said. Come on. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, it's the whole system is frustrating, and I can totally understand the anger, because if he said what he's alleged to have said, then, yeah, huge punishment, get him out the game, like, there needs to be an education piece. It's ridiculous. However, there's no evidence. So what are you going to do? You can't condemn the guy without evidence. And that's the really tricky part of it. That's the bit that you can't get past. You know, there's got to be an investigation. That's what Thierry Henry was talking about. It's got to be an investigation. There will be an investigation. But what are they going to find? There's no camera evidence. There's no nothing. There's one. It's his word against his. Adam, is that the fella that played for Coventry? It is. Peter Unlove. So yeah, it's really, really tough one, I think, for the referee. That was my as soon as it happened, I was a bit like, oh, this is just going to be an absolute nightmare for everyone involved, because you've just got such anger at the situation, understandably, but, like, there's just no real logical, safe conclusion that sees the guy get banned. Because unless you can prove it, or unless he admits it, you're not going to ban him. Gabriel, he said Hermano. Well, no, he did say Hermano. He said Hermano after the fact, didn't he? So he might well have said Hermano under here. He might well have done. We don't know. But he's definitely said Hermano. You don't have to be a professional lip reader to see that he said Hermano after it when he was trying to reconcile the situation. But in theory, he could have said that after being mega racist. So after being racist, he could have tried to, patch things up. Which I can understand why. If he did, then Vinicius Jr. was like, mate, leg it. I don't want to speak to you. But yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. The Arsenal says, did Ian Wright get a hat-trick against Liverpool and finish on the winning side? No, not Ian Wright. No, it was Peter Unlove, mate. Peter Unlove, the only Zimbabwean to score a hat-trick in the Premier League. Or was he actually? No, I don't know, Maybe Benjani. Benjani got a hat-trick as well, didn't he? But the only hat-trick scorer in the Premier League at Anfield and to be on the winning side was Coventry's Peter Unlove. They beat Liverpool 3-2 that day. Prince Rupert is Robbo a Celtic fan? He is, yeah. Whoa, strike! Oh, unlucky! Was that intentional? Sweet Lord, that was a great effort. Sorachi with an effort. Very nearly caught out Nubel. Don't know if it was intentional, that, to be honest. Okay, last 4 minutes plus added on time. Celtic are going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Stuttgart here, because one goal changes everything. It gives them a chance going to Germany. I think they can, in theory, you could see Celtic winning 1-0 in Germany. I honestly can't see them winning 2. But Parkhead has emptied. You can see people pouring out of the exits. The vomitories are just full of people and walking down the steps and emptying out the stadium. It's been that way since, the 56th minute when Stuttgart got their third, and they were really unlucky to not add a fourth. Gabriel says, what's your Premier League and Champions League predictions for this season? I've felt like Arsenal will win both, if I'm dead honest. Stuttgart are in, pull the ball back, chance here, should be 4. Ooh, claim for a penalty, not getting one for that. Celtic giving the ball away again. It's so cheap at the back. They're giving the ball away so cheaply. Leela's shocking. Are they still getting beat? Stoppage time. 4 minutes of added on time, you're thinking, Julius. Okay. Joshua Vanyaman throws the ball in. And United Forever says, hi, Key. I can see Spurs getting something on Sunday. I think everyone can. I think that's the worry for Arsenal fans, isn't it? That there's a really good chance that they do drop points against Spurs, and it's not a team that they would have wanted to play at this. I think if Arsenal fans could pick any team to have played coming up after that Wolves game, I think Spurs is not that side. They would have rather, maybe a Palace. Or maybe an Everton, maybe someone like that, but absolutely not a Spurs side that are just appointed a new manager that will be after revenge after that big defeat at the Emirates earlier this season. The North London derby, they don't really need to get up for that, do they? But Spurs will love it if they put a dent in Arsenal's title charge. Strike from the edge of the box. Oh, really should have been for the... Oh, so unlucky that. It was a strike from the edge of the box from Jelch, and he's definitely onside. I tell you what, if he gets a touch on that, it's 4-1. 3-star, calling it a night, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Hit the like on the way out, please, mate. Thank you very much, sir. Welsh Wing, only 9 players have scored a hat-trick against Arsenal in history. In the history of the Premier League, or just in history full stop. United forever. The issue with Spurs, though, is how many players have they got back? Why? Is there a couple of injury issues with Spurs? Prince Rupert, Tudor will be off to his best start imaginable if they beat Arsenal. I think no matter what, Igor Tudor's leaving Spurs at the end of the season. But I think he can make... He can give himself a really good chance of nailing the job if they were to beat... Because Spurs fans won't forget that. If he beats Arsenal in his first game in charge, they'll love him forever. United forever says because they have some injuries. I think Porro might be back. Well, let's have a look, actually. I don't know what the injury situation is for Spurs this weekend. But let's have a little look ahead to the North London derby. From what I can see, Bentancur's out. Yeah, Bentancur's out. Bergval's out. Danzo's out. Ben Davis, Kulusevski, Kudus, Maddison, Odegaard, Richarlison, Udogie and Porro. Yeah, I mean, they're injury hit, aren't they? Let's be honest. They are injury hit. Who did they play in their last game? Spurs. They had Newcastle, and in that lineup they had Solanke, Xavi Simons and Odegaard. Odegaard's not fit. Gallagher, Bissouma, Sarr, Spence, Van der Ven, Dragusin and Gray, with Vicario in goal. Probably be the same lineup, won't it? With maybe Palhinha and Kolo Muani coming in, you would imagine. Possibly. There's 5 minutes of added on time here. We're basically a minute into that. But yeah, if you look at Spurs bench, there's a lot of players on the Spurs bench against Newcastle that you wouldn't even recognise. Williams, Barnett, Rosewell, Oluseyi, Byfield. These are all players who were on the bench in Spurs' last game. They are very much an injury hit side at the minute. But still, I think it doesn't really matter. There's enough quality in that side that you would think, oh, Celtic, chance! Oh, if he gets a touch there, it's possibly 3-2. Should Iheanacho do better? Oh, he should have got a touch on that. Maddow says the Hermano thing is crap. He said, I didn't say Mano, I said Hermano. I didn't say Mano, I said Hermano. Get off it. I mean, he did say Hermano. He did say Hermano after that. Because you could see it when he's lip reader. You don't have to be a professional lip reader. He definitely said Hermano without his thing. He said that after the whole, Vinicius running over to the ref. He definitely said Hermano then. But I think that's maybe where he's trying. I don't know. Like I said, for me, if I had to put my fingers in the drawer and choose what I think it is likely to have happened is, he probably racially abused him. Probably did. But you can't punish someone off probably. Sadly. Or maybe not sadly. Inkal says, Celtic reminds me a lot of Borussia football here. Very poor tactical playing, lack of football ability. Disappointing times for Celtic, yeah. Stuttgart are in, should be 4 this time. Oh, and it is 4. What a finish that is. And Kasper Schmeichel's raging. But it's an unbelievable finish there. It's a sensational goal. That's a really, really good goal from Stuttgart. And if I'm honest, that probably does just, well, not probably. That kills the tie off. The second leg is done and dusted. Thiago Tomas, who has only been on the pitch a matter of, 10 minutes? Thiago Tomas has just stuck it in the top corner. Martin O'Neill looks really frustrated, but it's a wonderful finish. He takes it down on his chest. He's running clean through on Kasper Schmeichel. He's under a bit of pressure, though, and he's kind of falling to his right. And as he falls to his right, just gets a lovely touch to dink it into the top corner. That's a lovely finish. Jamie Llewellyn with another assist, I think, isn't it? Was it Llewellyn or was it... I don't know who got the final touch, actually, for the assist. But it is 4-1. It is 4-1. Rasta says Spurs are not beating Arsenal this weekend, mate. Honestly, you're really taking the mickey out of us now. Bring on the hate for Arsenal. Gunner for life. We can take it. Listen, I don't think Spurs will beat you, but I think, there's every chance that they get a point. Prince Rupert says, and there it is, over for Celtic. Play the kids next game. Very, very disappointing, isn't it? Hamzush says City will win the league. And Gabriel says, do you think games are getting boring now because more teams are setting up very low? No, not at all. I think that's been the case forever, mate. In football, a low block's not a new thing. Teams have always done what they're doing now. Stadium's almost empty already. And S. Mason, evening, Key. How are you tonight, mate? I'm very good, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Rasta says, told you Stuttgart for the win. You did indeed. You called it. Stuttgart to win, and they've won quite comfortably in the end. Parkhead basically empty with 60 seconds to go, but it was as good as empty with maybe 25 minutes to go. Celtic now into the area, laid off to the edge of the box. They've got to strike it. Iheanacho, good touch. Hit it. Deflection. Over to the left-hand side. Got a... Oh, unlucky. Cleared away. S. Mason, great. Thanks, mate. I've been loving the lives, even as an Arsenal fan. Cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in and, being with us tonight and being with us during the lives. It's always good to have good footy fans in, and doesn't matter who you support, just watching the game and enjoying it, talking football. I love it. It's fantastic. Night, everyone. Take it easy, Graham. Ball pulled back. Celtic laid off. Must be. Oh, he skied it again. I tell you what, Sriracha and Tunekti have missed some chances tonight for Celtic. United Forever says at the end of the day, bring on the kids, and if they work, then they work for Spurs. Oh, well, I think that's going to be that for tonight. Celtic 1, Stuttgart 4. We're very close to full time. The Celtic fans are looking particularly glum in the stands there. It's a frustrating night for them. Not a great night to be a hoop. Isn't this showing the difference between the Bundesliga and the Scottish League? Possibly, yeah. Welshwing, gotta go, Key. Have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow for a quiz, maybe. Yes, please, mate. Take it easy. Thanks again. Good lad, and see you soon. How Celtic been tonight doesn't sound the best. Yeah, they've not been fantastic. Lots of mistakes. I think Kasper Schmeichel should have done better for at least 2 of the goals. Chance! Oh, is it in? Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, Rauho, far post, very nearly 4-2. Oh, and that is literally the last action of the game. The last action of the game there. And it is Celtic 1, Stuttgart 4. Celtic so close to pinching it right at the depth. Again, at least a second that would have made the game a little bit more likely to be something of a contest in Germany. But now, at 4-1 down, I honestly can't see it being anything other than a walkover in Germany. Very sad. But well played, Stuttgart. It must be said. Listen, let's not forget, Stuttgart, fantastic performance. They did really, really well. Man of the match for me tonight was probably El Hoeneß. I think he was different class. Scored 2 goals. Was a danger all night. I do think Stiller was very good in defence. In midfield. Finn Jeltsch as well had a good game. At the back for Stuttgart, once they sort of dropped deep, he won everything there, really. For Celtic, I mean, there wasn't too much in the way of positivity you could claim from that Celtic performance. It was just a disappointing night all round. Right. If you haven't yet, do a couple of things for me. Hit the like button. Make sure you're followed wherever you're watching this, whether it be on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. If you're watching me on Twitch or TikTok, head over to YouTube, search Key Thomas Premier League Dad. Give me a follow. And I will see you all tomorrow night for another game. As you know, we always live every single day. We do a watch-along, and we're live tomorrow for Blackburn against Preston. Big Lancashire derby in the Championship for Friday night football. And we'll have another quiz, we'll have another laugh, we'll talk more football. But lots of love to everyone, really appreciate you coming in, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Take it easy, enjoy your Thursday night.